That's right. We're still alive. Welcome back to another episode of the Weeb Retreat podcast. Yeah, season 2 is still among us, the summer 2021 anime season. We hope you enjoy your guys' stay. We are the Weebs, your hosts. My name is James. This is Germs. We haven't done this in 2 weeks. We are sorry for the delay. We have a lot to talk about today, even more so today after taking our little break. How you doing, Germs?
Doing good. Spicy as always. Spicy as always.
Sorry that life kicked in. We had some stuff going on. We will be giving you guys a great show today. Timestamps will be in the description as always. Only thing different, no Itaden Deities this week for the weekly roundup. You can blame me for that one. I'm not fully caught up. But yeah, normal weekly roundup as usual. Got a great show for you guys today. All right. Oh, this will be fun. This will be fun after 2 weeks. All right, let's start the weekly roundup with Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, Season 2. Latest episode for this week is Episode 6. What did you think of this one, Germs?
It was really nice. There's a lot of nice little moments. I feel like this one was really segmented into a lot of different little things, it felt like to me, but, with Shota-kun, trying to be like, hey, wait a second. She's walking all over me, Wait a second, I should be the master here. He's like, okay, I'm gonna go talk to the only other male I know, Otaku-kun, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I'm just getting a little bit of advice there, and it was pretty funny. Especially that end little spot there. He's like, "Oh, you're such a cool adult, man! Like, you're so cool." And he's like, he pulls the glasses out, and it's like, oh, his reaction to that was pretty funny.
Yep.
And I think you would probably love the second a bit as well, with Saika and Kana going on a little adventure.
Saikawa. It's Saikawa and Kana. Yes. Yeah, I love that. Yeah. I love this show. Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, so they're going on a little adventure. They're like, oh, I've been out this far, and it's like we'll go out even farther. So and then the end, it's so nice,
so
nice and cute.
Cute, man. So fucking cute. I love that shit.
They get like a little food all packed up and stuff, and they're all walking around. And then the end there with Elma in her normal dragon form and then the Saikawa thing is like the Loch Ness monster or whatever, and then Kana's like whew, trying to divert away. That was nice little moments there. It's just good stuff, man. And Kobayashi in the other 2 weeks have been fire as always. Nothing new on that front, but that's exactly what you want. It's just like good, wholesome stuff.
Yeah, dude. Fucking Kobayashi, man. Kobayashi Season 2. This is the good stuff, Germ. So, we've been out for 2 weeks. We have this week that we are reviewing these episodes. I do want to just, we don't have to because it's kind of an episodic series, but I do want to touch a little bit on last week's episode. Best episode of the season, best episode of the series. So fucking good, dude. It gave us a little bit of backstory on Elma and Toru, right? How they first met. And then Alumu, the new character for this season, she finds work at a candy shop. I tell you, man, last week's episode was 11 out of 10. It's a shame that we did not record last week because I'd have a lot more time to talk about the greatness of it. But yeah, so this week's episode, just as good. Great, yeah, like you said, great development for Shota. And Koit's cultural, I don't know how to pronounce it. Big Tits, I guess. Let's just call her Big Tits, I guess. Yeah, he wanted to find her weakness and all that stuff. In the beginning, you look at their relationship and you think, oh, that's just kind of like for fan service. But this show is so good at introducing characters to you that you don't know if you're gonna love, and you fall in love with. It's really a relationship based show. Everyone has like the otaku has his relationship with the dragon that's staying at his place. Yeah, Fafkun. You have Shota and Big Tits. You have Saikawa and Kana. I mean, obviously you have Toru and Miss Kobayashi. It's really a show about relationships, and it's just such good stuff, man. It's just such good stuff. Yeah, and then the date with Saikawa and Kana, cute as hell. I loved when the old couple took their picture. Yeah, I never thought that I would like a slice of life anime show. It's just such a fucking weird concept. Why would you want to watch something? Why would you want to watch average life animated? Why wouldn't it just doesn't seem like it would resonate with me. But Miss Kobayashi does a bang up job of it, and yeah, I'll have a lot to say about Kobayashi for our midway season thoughts. But so good, you guys, with the weebs out there, you guys got to be watching this shit. It's so good.
Yeah, I definitely agree as well. Like it just feels good, man. It just feels good. There's no, there's sometimes a little bit of spice, but that's the good spice. You get spice of life.
Yeah, the spice of life. What a hashtag spice of life. I love it. And one thing I do want to mention, just for just to have it recorded, and we've said this before, but Kyoto Animation, man, they do such a good job with the animation and the production of the series. Quality episodes. Now, we know about the arson attack. They were out for 2 years. I don't know when the production on this started. I think that production started back then, actually. So they've had a long time to work on these episodes. Possibly. That's speculation on my part. Either way, though, every episode looks beautiful. Every frame looks beautiful. The background, like the watercolor background paintings that they kind of have, look beautiful. Even the action scenes, the little bit that we get, like last week's episode with Elma and Toru, there's no cutting corners, no skipping anything. This anime looks, sounds, and is beautiful. So, yeah, good job, Kyoto Animation. Quality product every week. I'm usually the guy who has a bullshit complaint. Oh, I love it, but here's this one little thing that ticked me off. I have no complaints when it comes to this season, or frankly, the whole series, to be honest with you. So, yeah, final thoughts for this week's episode of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, Season 2, Episode 6, Germs.
Yeah, good stuff. Again, like little developments. With every character, and that's just exactly what it does best at. So it's good to see.
Yeah, it's all about the relationships. If you like the relationships, you'll love the show. If you can't get behind them, you probably won't. But yeah, I love them. I'm totally behind the show. Guys and gals, the weebs out there, what do you guys make of Miss Kobayashi's second season? Are you guys watching like we are? And if you're not, go back and watch season 1, get caught up. Now is the time to be checking this out. All right. Moving on here, we have Peach Boy Riverside, the worst title in anime history, episode 7. Before I say anything about this, I'll let you take the lead, Germs.
Well, since it's especially wild since we haven't talked the past few weeks, and these past few episodes have been all over the place. Absolutely. Like I couldn't believe when I started this week's episode and I saw that we were back in the town, and I was like,
by the way, this week's episode is what I wanted like fucking 3 weeks ago. Remember? I was like, please fill in the patch of how they get to the town, how like right after the aftermath of the city being destroyed. And yeah, we needed this like 4 weeks ago, dude. But yeah, they gave it to me. They just gave it to me way down the road. So, what do you make of it so far, bro?
Well, like initially I was like, okay, they're doing exactly what I expected. Like initially, like the guy is all like devastated, and it's like, okay. But then after showing him sad once, they were like, okay, we showed him sad enough, and then he's just back to being all happy, and like it's like he sees someone from the town that was completely, and all his family just all gone. He's like, oh, like, hey, it's this person. Hey, look, they didn't die. That's cool. It's like,
yeah, that was weird.
So like seeing his reactions were like, it felt so not genuine. Like,
you know what's the problem, dude? We can sit here and complain about that, right? How it feels forced. But what if there's an episode in between this one that takes place right before, you know what I mean? Like, it's so hard to judge a show like this because if you have an aspect that you're going to complain about, you don't know if it's going to be touched on because it's being given to you out of order. You know what I mean? So maybe that's
no
not
indication.
his... What's up?
We don't know. We don't know like when it's like, oh, are we gonna? Is this like a skip forward, a skip back? It's like it isn't. They don't care. They just show whatever they want to show. It's like if there was some like indication of like, like maybe at the end of like that episode where like thing got destroyed, like it showed like some crazy lines or like some indication that like we're missing something, like something's getting cut out.
Yeah.
It's just someone's like ripped out all the pages, start shuffling the pages together, and they're just like, yeah, we'll just read it like how it is. It's like,
Well,
you
yeah,
can't
and
just do that.
that's a great analogy. The analogy I was thinking of is being you go, you know how we always see the food analogies. Go into a restaurant and first they feed you dessert, then they give you a little bit of your dinner, then they give you an appetizer, and then you're back to your dinner. Then they give you the second entree of dessert. It's just all fucking out of order. But yeah, I like the pages. That's a really good analogy. We've had time to think about this. Here's the thing, though. I like every page I read. I like what I'm reading. The problem is I don't know how to follow this because it's out of fucking order. You know? Uh, yeah. I mean, I
Yeah,
guess, but you did touch on something I didn't think about. His what's his name?
Makoto.
Hawthorne. His reaction was horrendous. I mean, for him to make it believable on the audience that his whole city got devastated, and for him to kind of shrug it off is bullshit. But you know what? I didn't even realize that because this show is so out of order. If it was given to us in normal order, I would have been like, "Whoa, that's kind of out of place." But yeah, I didn't even think of it. Good job bringing that up. I mean, I feel like the animation looks good. The fight scenes are good. I don't know
The
what the
tits are
fuck.
nice.
The tits are nice, but I don't know what the fuck I'm watching, dude. It's all over the place, man. I thought it was
Hmm.
because when we first discussed it in our last episode, I was thinking, okay, like they gave it to us a little bit out of order, but now we're gonna kind of get back on track. But no, no,
So
it's completely fucking out of order, you know?
yeah, we still haven't even gone back to see what her response was to Makoto and the priest. So maybe that's like a
That's
few weeks.
I think that's the farthest point in the story, right?
Yeah, currently, yeah.
But even I'm not even sure, dude. I don't even know. Uh I don't even know, dude. And then like sometimes there's like you'll have two events happening at the same like simultaneously. That gets hard to keep in your mind. I'm not sure if we've had a flashback or not, but dude, like I'm not like most anime fans, man, right? Like most anime fans can watch 20 shows at a time and have no problem. I'm not like that, okay? I didn't start watching seasonally until 2018, 2019. I think 2019 is when I started really watching seasonally. So the fact that we have 6 on this weekly roundup, I got a backlog. I have even a whole different list of other shows I just want to watch before I die. The fact that I have to watch all these shows, and this isn't Peach Boy Riverside's fault, but it is in a sense. And that if you give me a regular show with just a normal plot, it's already hard for me to remember shit. It's already difficult for me to remember the names, remember where everyone is. All the time, I go back to like a previous episode. I skim through it. I'm like, okay, here is where we left off. I already am monkey brain and forget shit. So the fact that you're giving me a show while I'm watching a bunch of others, and you're going to give it to me completely out of order, uh, it's ruining the experience. You know, I was hoping I could watch the show and be like, all right, it's out of order, but have it in the back of my mind that, you know, eventually we'll get a Blu-ray release. Eventually we'll know what the chronological order is. We can, whenever I go back to rewatch the show, I can watch it in a specific order. But, you know, I'm not from the future. Like we're reviewing this weekly, and if we're gonna be reviewing this weekly, yeah, I'm not liking how the broadcast order. The broadcast order is almost ruining the experience for me. Is it ruining your experience, or how do you feel about it?
Like, I don't even know how to feel about it. Like sometimes, like it's like okay, this is something nice. Like that the episodes before with Frau and what happened there, and I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. Something actually nice is happening here. Something cool is
Yeah,
happening here. And then just like it's like oh I'm in this nice happy place like oh this is nice and then it just well, okay let me see what happens next episode and then we're like in a completely different place. It's like oh come on I wanted to see some more of that. So it's just like
yeah,
it keeps throwing me for a loop. It's like oh I'm having a nice time and it whiplashes me back. You know it's like ooh it's like wait where am I now? Wait oh, who's this? Wait what year? How many days ago was this? You know
I
it's like
know.
I'm just like, okay, I'm like looking at all this little different signs and what people are saying. It's like, okay, where are we? Is like, is this like right after the attack? Is this before the Coliseum? After Coliseum? Is this
Yeah,
before all of that? This is even before everything. It's like, it's just all it's just I'm just being whiplashed all over the place, you know. Like I imagine, you know, in the future, once there's like the chronological release, it's like it's gonna be a lot smoother ride. But currently, we're just
Yeah.
being thrown all over the place, you know.
Well, yeah, all the comments for the show are, "Oh, only 5 more weeks until we can watch it chronologically." You know, like people are bagging on the show. Again, we love the analogies here on the Weeb Retreat. So yeah, Whiplash. When you ride a ride, right, a roller coaster, Whiplash every once in a while is fun, right? You're like, "Whoa, what's going on?" But if you have a ride that's constantly giving you whiplash, that's gonna hurt your fucking neck by the end of it. You know what I mean? So every once in a while to spice up the ride is fine. We like we like turning points and you know, whiplash as we call it, but to have that every single week is no fun, you know, no bueno. So yeah, it's sort of ruined. But here's the thing: every episode is like good, right? Like I don't really have a problem with the show. Like it looks good,
Yeah,
the
like the
production's
Frau
good.
episodes was nice. The Nun episode, like I remember these episodes as their own like little things, but
Yeah,
it's kind of hard just to put it all as one series, you know.
I like that we know why Carrot's called Carrot now. Oh, I liked her. I don't know if it was this week's or last week. This is all fucked up in my brain right now. But I like that the fight with the one guy, and she
The,
wanted
the
to kill
vampire.
the vampire. She wanted to kill the town because it was all humans, but then she wanted to stick up for Frau. I like that a lot. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Hmm.
But unlike you, my brain is so like I can't even classify it as every like I don't even know what the fuck I'm watching at this point. It's all a mishmash of scenes to me at this point. So I'm sure that this is a good anime. It's hard to get into, but I'll leave you with the
Hmm.
final thoughts for this week's episode.
Yeah, well, there's some little things I wanted to push up on because we brought it up beforehand, and you know, and some new stuff, spicy new stuff is, but you know, well now we learned, you know, I think you said it before. You were like, oh, did Makoto and Sally meet up before this? Like, why isn't Sally like you know reacting to him when she saw him at the Coliseum? It's
Well, that's why
because
my question
because
got
they already
answered.
met. Yep, they already met
See, and that's what I was
beforehand.
saying. You had a complaint, and I said that might be rectified. My complaint was rectified, right? So I had a complaint, and it turned out, oh, well, if I watched it in the chronological order, that wouldn't be a complaint because I would have seen that they would have met. But watching it broadcast order, it's like, what the fuck? That's her reaction to him. It made no sense. But um, you know, some of these complaints get rectified and they make sense if you watch it normally, but we're not watching it normally. So we have complaints that aren't even really complaints. You know what I mean? It's yeah. Sorry, I just cut you off again. I have a bad habit of
No
that.
problem, no problem.
Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, and then the latest thing from the latest episode with Carrot and the priest are working together. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's what well, were they working together? Are they working together? I
No.
don't know. I don't know anymore. It's like
Yeah.
was that just like a was that like a thing beforehand, and then somehow during these next episodes before we get to the current latest point, then that relationship won't be together. It's like I don't know what's going on here. Like
Well, we
okay,
know from last week's that she turns on the ogres, but is she turned on the priest? I don't know, dude. It's just like, are you enjoying it at this point, or are you not enjoying it? Like, where's your enjoyment for the series right now?
it's all like I really liked the few episodes ago. I think it was like 3 episodes ago with like the Frau and like her dying, and then like oh it's
That
she's
was
like not a.
badass.
I was like okay, this
Oh,
is
dude,
cool.
we didn't even talk about that. The fucking angel that comes out of nowhere, and she's like, "You want to be revived, or you want to be reincarnated?" I'm like, "Whoa." That's some world building that we have not seen yet. Who the fuck is this angel? What is Frau? Because Frau's not a demi human
Funny.
or an ogre. My subs say they, as if to say the pronoun isn't he or she. So I guess it's not a he or she. It's a they. I guess I don't know. But they're not ogre or demi human. Apparently, there's something else like the black wings they had. But yeah, dude, it's just
Fallen
hard.
angel.
Fucking yeah, maybe Frau's a fucking angel, dude. I have no idea. It's out of order, man. It's hard to follow this shit. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Certainly
It's
interesting.
interesting,
I would love to watch this in order. You know, I think I'd like it 10 times more.
but that's not how the studio's gonna give it to us, unfortunately. So it's just like,
Unfortunately.
well, like I feel like watching this like release order wise, it's like it's like a few. It seems like it's gonna be a few points down for when it's actually gonna be all out and completed and chronological.
Yeah,
It's
that's the
like it's like
problem.
imagine someone just like gave you recommended you a show, but just like put a randomize on those episodes. So it's like you're probably not gonna enjoy the show as much, just like being thrown all over the place. But like the content's still technically still all good once you put it all in a
Yeah.
normal. But it's
It-
like, but
It's like
who's
someone makes a playlist of a bunch of random clips. Like imagine someone's like, dude, watch Dragon Ball Z, and they give you all the fights in Dragon Ball Z, but they're completely random. They're completely random. You have Goku versus Cell, then Goku versus Frieza, and then like they just give them to you in a complete random order. Like, could you enjoy the fights and all the clips that you see? Yeah, they're all badass, but you'll have no idea what the fuck you're watching. You know what I mean? All the context is stripped of it. I'm not saying that this is as bad as that, but I'm not enjoying it.
almost.
Almost. So yeah, guys and gals, the weebs out there, are you guys watching Peach Boy Riverside, worst title ever? And the order that we're getting them, the broadcast order is the worst order ever as well. But are you guys enjoying the actual content, or is it you guys gonna wait for the broadcast to be over so you can watch it chronologically? I see a bunch of comments saying that. So comment down below. We would love to hear what you guys think about the series, or are you guys not even watching it? You're just hearing about the shit show that's unfolding with Peach Boy Riverside. Please let us know. All right, so speaking of shit shows, let's continue here with Four Hoes. Oh, sorry, what's that? Girlfriend, episode 7. What did you make of this week's episode, Four Hoes?
Oh yeah, this is that beautiful garbage, man. This is that good shit.
That's an oxymoron. That's an oxymoron if I ever heard one. Beautiful garbage.
Yeah, dude, beautiful garbage, man. I'm absolutely loving. I forget what her actual name is, but like Millen, blonde, big titties.
Rika or
Rika.
Milika is her MeTuber
Milika.
name, I think.
Dude, I'm absolutely I'm loving Rika, man. I'm loving her character
Best
and
girl.
her story.
Best girl,
arc.
right? Best girl.
Oh yeah.
Okay, but here's the thing, dude. Here's the thing. How could you justify her being best girl when she fucking camps outside homie's fucking apartment? Like
that's dedication right there, man. That's dedication.
That's dedication, but at that point it's like, "Oh, back off," because like their status is out the window. It's like they're so desperate. When they're desperate for you, it's not the same. You know what I mean? Like you could have them at any point. Like
I wish I knew that. I wish I knew that, Mr. James. I wish.
Well, you can imagine
hypotheticals here. Hypotheticals.
Hypothetically speaking, yeah. What else? What else you got for this week's episode?
Well. I think Rika wasn't even in last week's episode.
No, she wasn't.
Dude,
what the fuck was that?
I know.
Yeah.
I know. But I just wanted to bring up how much she's going up in the books for me.
We'll talk about her for sure. Believe me.
But dude, with Saki and that bunny girl outfit and I'm forgetting
the Maid outfit.
Blue. Yeah, and the Maid outfit.
Nagisa.
Beautiful.
Hey, which one won?
Beautiful.
Which one wins? The Maid outfit or the bunny outfit? Be honest.
Oh, it's probably gonna be. Well, that's probably the only time Saki is gonna win. But yeah, I think Saki won this one.
Not the outfit, but like how they looked in the outfit. You'd still give it to Saki?
Yeah.
You're crazy. Continue.
Hey, I'm telling you, this is the one time Saki wins. Other than that, Nagisa's way better girl.
You know what's funny, dude? You know how I like last time I was like, fuck Saki, like she's annoying as fuck. She's actually been fine recently. Like when they don't have a whole episode on her, like it's fine. Like it's like that one chick, right? Like if you don't see her every day and you just go on dates with her, it's fine. But then you spend a whole day with them and you're like, whoa, I can't do a whole day with you. But like going on dates is fun. You know what I mean? But then you spend the whole day with them and it's like, whoa, let's chill out there. So that's kind of how I feel with Saki. If there's a whole episode of her, it's like, fuck her. She's so annoying. But if just when she has her little moments in the show, she's funny. You know what I mean? So she's risen in my books. But you know who's completely fallen in my books and was already at a low point to begin with? The fucking MC. We talked about how, remember how we were looking at the show, we're like, dude, this could be a Chad MC. He's going to date 4 girls. No. This guy, he is so fucking annoying, Germs. How do you feel about the MC? I think this guy is so fucking annoying.
Yeah, I think he's just generic MC. You know,
Forget
I
generic.
mean,
He's annoying at this point. He's annoying my ass. He's worse than Saki that one episode. The fact that he's like compulsive and I just can't stand his fucking personality. I just can't.
well, he stood up for Rika when her dad came in and stuff. That was a pretty nice moment
Yeah, but
between the
that's
two of them.
such
there.
a trope. Like I was looking at my phone. I'm like, I don't understand a lick of Japanese, but I know exactly what's happening. He's mansplaining for her. He's like, hey, don't delete her stuff. She needs to be a whore on the internet. Like, don't take that away from her. She worked for all her OnlyFans subscribers. You know, it's not hard. It's not easy having her tits out like that. You know, and then as she's walking away, she blushes over him. Like I knew. No, he doesn't get brownie points with me for that. You know, that's like so fucking predictable.
Yeah, but that's what makes this such a beautiful, garbage. It's just that junk food, man. It's like you know it's not good. This is garbage, but it's that good. It's still that good shit, man. It's still I'm still munching on that.
If you know what I hate though, you know what I hate. Yo, okay, so this show is like over the top, dramatic as fuck, right? Like the most over the top premise, over the top characters, and that's fine. I'm not bagging on it for that, right? That's the type of show it is. That's the type of show it wants to be. Why is Rika not in the harem yet? I mean, she's kind of there. She's like
basically
she's like the one X that keeps calling you, even though you're like, hey, like this is over, and she's like not gonna let it go. But if you're gonna have such a crazy show, why not just go balls to the wall with it? Why not just okay, she's part of the harem. Like, why are they playing footsie with us? You know what I mean? Like, we don't want to be teased. Like it's either all or nothing. Like, either make a crazy, ridiculous show or don't do that because they're trying to make it sort of realistic and sort of like she like he has to. They're working towards her entering the harem, right? They're working towards it, but it's like that doesn't make any sense. Like if we're gonna drive this thing off a cliff, like it doesn't matter if you start hitting the brake. You're already going off the cliff. Just accelerate it and let's go off the cliff here. You know what I mean? Like I don't know why she's not a part of the harem. If they want this to be a crazy, ridiculous show, just make it a crazy, ridiculous show. Have her the third hoe, and let's get on with the fourth. But instead, she's not officially dating him yet, and that's annoying. So I want all four girls to officially date him. They all have to. None of this like, they're kind of with me type of shit. Like they need to be with him, and he needs to change too. Fuck his personality. That's how I feel about it. This shit's hard to sit through, man. These episodes are hard to sit through sometimes. I gotta be honest with you. There's some moments where I'm like, this is fun to watch, and then there's other moments where I'm like, oh my god, I gotta watch this. But yeah, Rika's definitely best girl, definitely. But she is whoring herself out here, with the tent outside and shit like that. But she should be dating. She should be dating him by now. You promised me girlfriend, not. But there's 4 in the picture, man. There's 4 in the picture. We can't just have 2,
Hey, it's not called girlfriend, James.
Hey.
Come on.
Well, maybe I've been reading too many dojins, but I'm expecting the other 2 to fucking hop in here at some point. So, but you're liking it, right? You're liking it.
Yeah, it's nice, fun little watch. Nothing it hasn't gone downhill for me in any way. It's just been
this is
better and better.
Oh, better for you? This is like smooth sailing for me. Well, besides that one episode where I hated Saki.
Yeah, I think overall I've been enjoying it. It's not like A tier shit in any definition, but it's just nice. It's just nice and fun to watch. See some big ass titties of Rika just jumping up and down. It's just good. It's just good. It's good. It's good monkey brain stuff.
Well, I certainly like the suit comparison. We need some more lewd shit in here. Like we're not. No one's watching this shit for like the relationship angle. Like we're all here to watch some lewd shit happen. Like it's time for more Maid outfits. It's time for falling on tits, and yeah, it's time for more women to enter the harem, and it's time for that spice. It's time for them to. We're introduced.
Beach episode soon.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, beach episode. That's a tradition, right? They're gonna introduce the fourth hoe. We've already seen her in class, the gray hair one. She's definitely not gonna be best girl unless she like takes her top off and she has like big ass titties. I don't think so. I think Rika's got that covered. So they need to introduce the fourth hoe, and it's time to kick up the spice. So that's where I'm at with it. Hard to sit through these, but hey, I'm taking one for you guys. I'm doing it so you guys out there don't have to. So yeah, final thoughts, Germs. Final thoughts.
Yeah, good stuff for me. Good stuff for me every week. Hopefully we get that beach episode soon. Hot springs.
Yeah,
We get
hot springs episode.
all the classics. All the classics.
Exactly. Yeah, for me, listen, if you're going to have a ridiculous fun show like this, just let it be a ridiculous fun show. As soon as you introduce the third girl, just have her a part of the harem. No more of this footsie type of shit. No more bouncing around trying to build up to it. We don't care. If you're along for the ride and you're having fun with this, you don't care about character development. You don't care about any of that shit. You're just here to have a fun watch. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's time for some stuff to change around here. But yes, it is a fun watch for sure. Guys and gals, weebs out there, you guys watching For Ho, what's that? Sorry, girlfriend, girlfriend. I guess I keep reading it wrong. You guys watching this show, and what do you guys make of it? Comment down below. Who's best girl? I think we both agree it's Rika at this point.
Easy.
The tits. But you know what? Naki says up there too. She has big tits, but Saki does not. So she's not anywhere near the conversation. What's up?
She's not too bad. She's not the best. So she's obviously the worst of the three, but it's not like it's too,
no. She's
too
not
far
bad,
down.
but she's certain like she's clearly not going to be best girl. clearly, unless she has a growth spurt here soon. So she's out of that. All right, conversation. All right, let's move on to another controversial show here on the weekly roundup. Probably, you said beautiful garbage for hoes. This might be garbage, but not the beautiful kind. We have My Hero Academia Season 5, Episode 19. I'm being harsh on it. I'm only kidding. Don't come for me, Boku no Hero fans. Yeah, what'd you think of this week's episode of Boku no Hero?
I think, honestly, this week's episode was probably the best one.
I'd agree.
Like,
real quick, what about last week's, though? Fuck last week's, dude. That shit was so whack. So whack. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. Like, I feel like this episode really feels like what I was expecting to see from this new season. This was the spice I was expecting, like that, like tension. It's like, oh, they're like the tension in the air when they're like sitting there talking. They're like reminiscing of old times. It's like, oof. Oh, we're getting a little reaction on the thing here. It's like, ooh. And it just keeps going and going, and it's like, oh, we're getting more reaction. You see, like, the shadow, and it's like, oh, the tension,
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it happens all at once. And it was such a nice little arc, it's like its own mini arc that we got told right there.
Yeah, which is really cool. I like that they did that.
So I think it was a nice little episode there, and I'm a little disappointed. I know this is total, Boku no Hero manga fan stuff, but like, why did they animate that? Why did they animate that? Oh yeah.
Yeah, real quick. You're saying like, oh, it's just a manga perspective? No, from what I'm reading, dude, they're adapting this completely different. So you have every right to be pissed off right now if you're gonna say what I think you're about to say.
Yeah, because like that random little moment with what's her name, Ochako, and like the Sakuga on that fucking scene of her ass just fucking jumping and grabbing that little plushie was like, oh wow, they put a lot of budget into that, and then that final scene. That spicy final scene.
Okay,
they, like, barely animate that shit, and it's like
with Shigaraki, right?
Like, crazy scene.
With
Shigaraki. It's like that's one of the most like crazy panels there, and it's like they like didn't, and for me, I think also some other people they did some injustice to it, but like it somehow went all crazy on the Sakuga on Ochako's ass when she's jumping across, and it's like
you mean Uraraka, right? The girl that the girl that likes Deku, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for research purposes, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch her ass jiggling for research purposes. But yeah, the final scene with Shigaraki. Yeah, I could tell without even being a manga reader. I could tell. I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at here? It looked weird. It's only one scene. It's only for like 3 seconds, but it does.
Yeah.
it is a turnoff, you know? Makes you go limp
Yeah.
seeing that shit. So
Especially after seeing early in the episode when they put all that effort into that random little scene.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's not like it's bad that they put animation there, but like they should have put animation there and at important story parts, not at random love whatever that doesn't whatever.
I mean, you have to assume Bones will touch it up for the Blu-ray release. I assume it's possible not, but yeah, that scene was really weird. I think
Yeah, but
yeah, go ahead.
still one of the best episodes of the season. It's just
Yeah,
as a fan, I would have liked to see that scene a little bit better animated, but
absolutely.
it still showed it at least. I guess the worst that could have happened is they didn't show it.
Well, yeah, from what I read, the Bones' adaptation for this fifth season is like all over the place. It's not as dark as the manga, and it's like all over the place, is what I'm reading. So, yeah, real quick, just to touch on last week's episode, and then we had like a week. I don't know if it was last week or what, but where they didn't have Boku no Hero, right? But the episode before this one, so it might not be last week's. Yeah, it was bullshit episode, right? We both agree with that. It was just kind of like a little rescue episode, but the Endeavor agency arc that's over. That was it. We just had some bullshit melodramatic story with him and his kids, and that's kind of it. And Deku just learns the Black Whip. He just masters it like that. Like, I don't know, man. This season felt long and short at the same time to me, dude. It's like the weirdest shit ever. Like, I was, because we had the first half, right? The training. I don't even know the 1B versus 1A, right?
Yeah.
Once we got out of that, I'm like, cool. They're gonna train with Endeavor. Like, we get to see the new number one hero, and it just kind of like flew by. Like, we didn't really see them training. Like, they just kind of like saved a bunch of people. Like, and then by the end of it, I mean, you have the whole melodramatic story with Endeavor and his kids, right? I don't think they handled it bad. I don't think they really handled it good. I'm kind of like lukewarm on it. It was fine. It was fine for what it was, but really no training was done, or at least we didn't see the training. And so Deku just, he could use his Black Whips now. I mean, that's kind of fucking weird, kind of sudden. But anyways, but yeah, this week's episode, good shit. I could be nitpicky here and say, so the deceased guy is Oburo Shirakumo, and it's Aizawa and President Mike. Is that how you say his name?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't really build up to this. It would have been, listen, we've had fucking 4 seasons now for this one. It would have been nice if we knew that Aizawa and President Mike had a good relationship and that they went to UA at the same time. It would have been nice. It would have felt more natural if that was teased before and we knew about that. We didn't really, or at least not to me. So it felt, it's fine. It's not a big complaint. It would have been nice if we built up to this a little bit more. But yeah, Shirakumo, we've never heard of before, and we meet him in this episode. Even though it felt forced and kind of like, here's, these two characters that you've known all this time. They were best friends, and here's a whole backstory you didn't know about. Even though it felt forced, it was still good stuff. But yeah, weird animation at times, like we pointed out here. Almost a question of, is it, this was a quality episode, but is it too little too late at this point? I don't know. I mean, I bag on this shit every week, so I'm not gonna sit here and bag on Boku no Hero every week, but is it too little too late? We'll have the viewers talk about that. But are you hyped for what's coming up, by the way? Because I hear the last is this gonna go to 24 or 25? Let me just check right here. 25. So the last 6 episodes of this season is going to be My Hero or Boku no Hero Vigilantes. It's going to be a 6-episode backstory of the villains that you've probably already read in the manga. Is that going to be a good way to close out the season? Are you kind of hyped for that?
That's what I've been waiting for this whole time.
Did you know?
It's
Did you know it was going to happen after the Endeavor arc, or are they doing this out of order?
I forgot when it happened. And I thought all this stuff happened, was condensed a little bit faster. But so maybe it's just them extending stuff out a little bit longer than they should have. But
well,
this next vigilante or villain, kind of arc is what I've been I've been wanting to see here. That spice, that good
And
shit.
this is not the spin-off, right? This is part of the mainline Boku no Hero story. So what's the
Yeah, it was a
spin-off?
whole.
What's the spin-off manga I'm thinking of?
Oh, Vigilantes is 10 years in the past. This is just from the
Okay, so this
arc
is
is
just like
villain's perspective.
okay, so
The
this is
villain's
just
perspective.
this is just like Boku no Hero villains or whatever. So it's not Vigilantes. Vigilantes is the manga, right? The
Yeah.
spin-off manga. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
This is
So yeah,
villains.
apparently from what I'm reading, I don't think it's officially confirmed, but people, I don't know. You know how the weebs are; they find out stuff. The next 6 episodes to close out the season will be on the villain backstory. So I'm hyped for that. Listen, by the way, I always bag on this shit, right? Boku no Hero had a good episode this week. The only major complaint I have is that final scene looking weird as fuck. And overall complaints, the story feels, the Endeavor arc felt rushed to me. You know what it felt even worse than rush germs? It felt unimportant. Didn't I say that about the first fucking arc of the show, 1B versus 1A? Didn't I feel like that? Didn't I say that felt unimportant in the grand scheme of things? Well, besides the Hawk stuff, working with the villains, the Endeavor agency arc felt fucking unimportant to me. It just feels unimportant. I don't know. I mean, that's more of a grander, that's a holistic complaint I have. But just looking at this week's episode, pretty solid episode. Pretty solid episode. Very happy with this week's episode. I thought it was, yeah, I mean, had suspense / thriller vibes throughout it. I liked it a lot, but very curious to see where they're going to go with these next 6 episodes. So
Hope it ended off with a bang,
hopefully, fingers crossed. So yeah, final thoughts for this week's episode of Boku no Hero.
Yeah, this is the best episode in the season so far.
Best,
and hopefully it gets better in these last 6, whatever. So
yeah, I'd say this was the best. I think I agree with you on that. This was probably the best of the season. Such a shame, man, because Boku no Hero used to give us episode after episode like this. You know what I mean? Like quality wise. It's just a shame that we have to kind of, take a little while to get there. But yeah, I am excited for this next little 6 episode arc that everyone speculates is going to happen. Guys and gals, weebs out there, are you watching Boku no Hero? It's one of those things where you're either watching it or you're not. What do you guys think of this season? A lot of complaints, a lot of people talking about how the tone is different from the manga, how certain arcs are adapted differently or out of place or whatever. A lot of controversies. What do you guys think? And yeah, comment down below. We'd love to hear you guys' opinion. By the way, Boku no Hero's 3rd movie is out in Japan, launched August 9th. Some point when we get a release out here, or we find a way to watch it, we will be giving you guys a review of that. Yeah, we had that one episode tie into it. I don't even think you saw it. It was like after the ending, they had a little tie in there. I have no idea if it's even part of it. But yeah, not a lot of people talking about it, huh? Not a lot of hype for the movie.
Well, especially we're 5 whole seasons in. You gotta be pretty invested in the series to be to be this deep. So I feel like it's only gonna get its relevance is only gonna go down and down. It's not like it's gonna out of nowhere people are gonna be like, whoa, everyone's watching this movie.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like Demon Slayer's movie, you only had to watch a season before it. Now with Boku no Hero, if you want to be fully caught up, you have to watch 5. Yeah, every movie's like filler. You don't have to be exactly caught up, but like we've talked about before on this podcast, the longer a series goes, the barrier of entry rises, and the amount of people that get into the series decreases because that's a lot of episodes to catch up on. But all right, let's finish off this week's weekly roundup with Tokyo Revengers, episode 19. We could talk a little bit about the previous episodes too. What did you think of this week's episode of Tokyo Revengers, Sherms?
I'm a little bit all over the place with this one, like story wise and character wise, and what's actually going on wise. It's like, oh, this is good shit. Valhalla versus Tomon. We're seeing some nice juicy fights here. Some crazy matchups you'd want to see, but then the actual fight starts happening, and you're just like, oh. Like, oh.
Why? Explain it to the people and explain it to me, because I did not think you'd be saying this. I thought you'd be really hyped up after this episode. So explain to me. I'm surprised here. Explain to me why you're not satisfied with this week's episode.
Like, it felt like it was like in super slow motion or something. Like some guy would go for a punch, it would like land, like wait a few seconds. Oh. Then the other guy throws a punch, holds it for a few seconds. Oh. Like
What? Hey, who warned you about this? Who said from day one, good show, good story, good characters, but the production is a little bit off? Who told you? Who called it from day one? I knew eventually we were going to get an episode, like a full action episode, and I knew you were going to see what I've been seeing the whole time. I told you production's been off a little bit with this one. Not that it's been off. The production's been consistent.
Consistent.
I shouldn't say off. I should say low quality. I shouldn't say low quality. That's a little bit harsh, but it's not high quality. This is not a high. Yeah, it's not a high quality production anime. That's, you know what I mean? I don't want to say it's like looks shitty. I don't want to say it looks terrible, but it's certainly one on the lower end of the spectrum for like in 2021. You know, compared to shit that we get. Like this is on par with like Four Hoes.
Shaman King.
Shaman King, yeah. I'm not watching it, but I thought that one looked shitty. But yeah, like for me, and I'm not, listen, I like Tokyo Revengers. I'm not talking shit, but the production quality is like where Four Hoes is. Like the way the characters are drawn, the way the characters move. This is not Peach Boy. It's certainly not Kobayashi. It's like on the lower end of the spectrum. You know what I mean? And so when we have a full episodes of fights, that's when you're gonna notice it. I didn't expect you to say this though. I'm actually surprised. I'm actually surprised. But yeah, go on. What else did you think?
In terms of the actual content, it's like, oh, this is some spicy good stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Like you know, I really felt the impact when, you know, Mikey was getting hit by that fucking, you know, iron bar. It's like, ooh, it's
from Kazutora, right? Yeah. Ooh.
It was like, ooh, it's like I felt that, even though it didn't look good, but like it doesn't have to look good for you to know, you know, how that feels. It's like, ooh, got hit again, ooh. So it's like, you know, the feelings and like the actual, like, you know, how I felt about the episode was like, oh, this is good stuff. It's just like it didn't look. It doesn't look great, but like it feels good, you know. It's like, oh, we're getting some really spicy stuff here.
Yeah, I think that fight felt good. Everything else was kind of meh, like you were talking about, but that fight, would you say that's the best fight in the series so far?
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty nice.
But let me remind you.
He's a little too strong. He's a little too OP.
Oh yeah, it's a little bit unrealistic. The scene with I don't would you classify it as Sakuga? I don't know. But where they're all jumping on him and he's like ducking down and throwing punches, that scene easily the best. Like all the budget went to that scene. All the budget went to that scene. That was the best scene in the entire series so far. Like action scene wise. Do you remember what I'm talking about? Maybe I'll. Yeah. Where they're all jumping on him, and that was a fluid, action packed. It only lasted like 5 or 7 seconds, but that was fluid. Looked good. The choreography was great on it. That was really good. And then after that, you had Kazutora beating the shit out of him. That hit you in the heart. I would say that Mikey's fight was probably the best in the series so far, in my opinion. But yeah, like you mentioned, everything else in the episode was, you know, I mean, you had fuck, what's MC's name? Drawing a blank here.
Takemichi or something.
Takemichi. God, see, this is what happens when you don't do a podcast for 2 weeks, right? Takemichi. Remember when Takemichi runs out into the crowd and he's just throwing his arms out? Like there was some whack.
That was nice. Speaking of that, I really like that moment when, you know, and he's like getting all beat up and shit, and he starts to like, you know, like yelling like, "Yo, let's go!" All of them are all tired, and you know, he reawakens them. It's like, okay, you know, this is some anime MC shit I was expecting, you know, in the good way.
But for me, I'm a visual whore, right? Like I'm watching anime to watch anime, right? I could be reading manga, so I like the content of that scene, but did it look the best? No. Just keeping it real. Yeah. So for my perspective, Tomon versus Valhalla, this was a big episode. I got to tell you, man, the lead up to this fight was like terrible. Like the last 2 episodes was the slowest, most boring build up to this big fight scene in this episode. In my opinion, I'm just being honest. I think Revengers is slowly it's on the decline slightly for me. It'll probably pick up here before it's all said and done. I think it's going to run for 24. We're nearing the second half of this season, but the last couple have been not so hot for me. Like I said, the Mikey's fight with Kazutoro, fantastic. The animation was great. Mikey getting the shit kicked out of him, beautiful. But you remember the other big dramatic gang fight that we had, Tomon and Mobius, in the rain?
Yeah.
I kind of like that one more than this one, to be honest with you. There was a lot
You
more.
didn't even like it that much.
I didn't. I didn't. But this one was just like, Revengers has that 3-minute recap, then the opening, and then, the episode, then, it just drags on. It's just kind of dragging on at this point. But I don't hate it. I still love the series, still invested. Just not the best couple weeks for me, in my opinion.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm liking where the story's going and where it's at right now. So that's what I can hope for. And that's good because even if the animation only gets worse or something, like at least we know we can go read the manga. It's gonna look beautiful. The story's gonna be it's still gonna be great. So that's the one thing we can at least be with this, in terms of the animation. Maybe we cannot be happy, but just in terms of the actual series, we know if need be, we can just read it in the manga form and just be like, okay, this is a good series or something.
Well, yeah. The source material's on par. I just, the adaptation is not the best. Not the best. I've been saying this from day one, but not terrible. I mean, this is not a. I don't think it's a bad adaptation by any means.
Yeah, it's getting the job done.
But when you have a whole episode of fights, like you pointed out, you're on fire today, bro. You've been pointing out stuff that I didn't even think of. You did this for Peach Boy too. Yeah, when you have a whole episode of a massive fight and the animation isn't the best, you're gonna notice it more than a regular episode. You know what I mean? It's gonna stand out to you a little bit more. So, yeah, guys and gals, weebs out there, are you guys enjoying Tokyo Revengers like we are? Comment down below. And what did you make of this big ass fight scene we had this week? Was Mikey victorious? Mikey was victorious in the end, right? So
Yeah.
that changes the changes the
The fate.
timeline. Yeah,
He didn't kill him.
yeah.
He didn't. Maybe
Actually,
since
maybe
we
he
haven't seen
killed
it
him,
yet.
right?
Then
Yeah.
he like knocked him down. I don't know about. I'm thinking like we're gonna see like next up he's gonna be beating on his face, and we haven't seen that yet.
Maybe.
So, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. So, guys and gals, leave a comment down below. Are you enjoying the spice like we are? And that's gonna wrap it up for this week's weekly roundup. No Itaden this week. You can blame me for that. I apologize, people. We will have it back for next week's episode. I promise you that. Just not completely caught up with it. All right. So yeah, before we get into the weekly discussion here, winner of the week. What is your episode of the week, Germs? You could. I mean, I guess you can do Itaden if it was Itaden. I can't really comment on it, but you can tell for the people at home that are watching, you could choose Itaden too. So. Your selection for the 6.
Well, this is a hard one. Boku no Hero had a really great episode, but even its best episode, honestly, isn't as good as something like Kobayashi. Unfortunately, even at Boku no Hero's best, it's still not going to make it the weekly winner for me.
Yeah,
but
which is a shame. That's a shame.
I really liked the content and the actual what's going on in the Revengers episode, but it just wasn't like oh, this is hype. This wasn't like after Hinato, whatever her name is, got hit by another card. It's like, okay, that was like, oh, what a crazy episode. This is great. Like this episode's just like it's good. It's good. Great content. It's just like I'm not super like woo crazy. Peach Boys. So it's like I feel like Kobayashi just like kind of just easy winner there. It's like it's easy.
Easy. I mean, it's not even a contest for me. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid Season 2, Episode 6 gets our winner of the week here. Yeah, it's you know what, and we're gonna talk about this in the weekly discussion, but I'm afraid that I might be a broken record on this one. I think I might be echoing this every week because they just give us great episode after great episode. Yeah, I mean, What more can you?
Itaden was doing pretty good for me. Like I feel like Itaden might have had a little bit of a shot here, but Kobayashi just feels good, man. It just feels good. You can't beat good feelings, man. You can't beat them.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, easy one for us. Kyoto Animation is killing it, and yeah, I mean, not much else to say. Yeah, I mean, listen,
Mhm.
Boku no Hero had a good episode this week. Didn't make it. Peach Boy, a good episode. Just I don't know what the fuck I'm watching. Four Hoes will probably never win for me. Revengers, nah, that episode wasn't gonna win for me. And then yeah, Itaden, I don't even know. I don't even know about that one. So yeah, guys and gals out there, comment down below what was your winner of the week. It doesn't have to be the weekly roundup that we go through, but any episode that you watched this week coming out for the summer 2021 anime season, comment down below which episode did you enjoy the most this week. All right, weebs, and we're back. So we have to give you guys a discussion. I believe last episode we did not have a discussion. I don't think so. After 2 weeks, we've deprived you guys of good content. We got to give you guys a good, healthy discussion. And what better discussion to have than a mid-season thoughts on the summer 2021 anime season? So yeah, we are midway through the summer. Doesn't feel like it. It feels like just yesterday all these shows started. And so yeah, we just want to talk about where are we at with these shows? What are we enjoying? What are we not enjoying? How good is the summer season? You know, what are the snoozers? What are the losers? What are the good? What are the hits? What are the maybe hidden gems? Maybe Germs has a hidden gem for us. So yeah, I guess I'll start, and I'll just start with the roundup because that's mainly the stuff I'm watching. I think a lot of shit that we picked up for the summers. A lot of these shows are weird, but it's summer. It's summer. Peach Boy, Out of Order. Four Hoes.
That junk food.
Junk food. Itaden. Listen, I'm not caught up, but from the first two I saw, it's a weird one. It's
unique.
It's unique.
That's for sure.
It's unique, so I'll give it that. But it's weird. But then we have one that just stands above the rest, Germs. One that's clearly, if this is a race, they're 50 yards ahead of everybody else. They're lapping all the other shows, and that's Kobayashi. And I knew this coming in. But of all of the new
Boku Heroes that like Mob, like remember Mob from Mob Psycho 100, he's just like he's technically still in the race, but he ain't gonna be winning anything.
Well,
but,
yeah, Boku no Hero's
those.
Yeah, Boku no Hero's picking up the slack, but like I said, too little, too late. You're still getting lapped by Kobayashi. Yeah, like Revengers, good but not great. I've never thought Revengers was like a great show. It's a good, solid show. But you know what show I do think is great from the season? Kobayashi. Kobayashi, man. Kobayashi. Last season, every week we nutted over Nagatoro and how beautiful that show was. This season, for me at least, I don't know if we're on the same page yet, but it's Kobayashi, man. Kobayashi, like the clear winner for last season was of our roundup. I mean, you watched Vivi and you really liked Vivi, and a lot of people like Odd Taxi too. Some people say that Odd Taxi was the spring anime, the anime of the season for spring. But for me, just again, we're only talking about the roundup here. We'll expand into other stuff that you're watching, but just of the roundup, for me, it's clearly Kobayashi. Kobayashi is beautiful. You say that Four Hoes is a beautiful garbage. I say that Kobayashi is just beautiful. Just beautiful. No garbage, no loose ends attached. I love it. Are you loving it like I am?
Yeah, it's a good episode every week. It's not like I'm not super like, and it's an episodic series. So there's no like you're not ending a week episode like, oh, what I'm doing next week. Oh, are they gonna do this and that? It's like you never know what's gonna. You can start off with an episode and it's gonna be focused on whoever. It's gonna be Elma, Fafnir.
Yeah.
You never know. And that's the fun, it's like you just start it up and like, okay, who we gonna be looking at this next episode.
Yeah,
it just always just feels good. It doesn't matter what character they bring up. It's gonna be good stuff. They could focus on the most side characters, and like all of them are like like family. It's like it's all good show. It's got like the character development and building up that they've had is
S tier.
it's just great.
It's S tier. Yeah, it's a show about relationships. It's very wholesome. Every episode, you have that like I don't even know what kind of music you'd call it. Like that one soundtrack they have. It sounds like something you'd hear like walking the streets of Paris or something like that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And like a feel good moment's about to come, and every single time they hit you with a feel good moment. Yeah, I mean it's very much like Nagatoro. Nagatoro was episodic, but the only difference is that you knew what you were going to get with Nagatoro. I mean, it was Nagatoro and Senpai. That's what the whole show was. With this, it's episodic, but you have a whole roster of characters that they've built up. So you have the new one, Illumu. You have, obviously, Toru and Kobayashi.
Like Fafnir,
you have Fafnir and Otaku Guy. You have Saikawa and Kana. They just built
up. Any of them.
It could be any of them, and I'm fucking entertained, dude. I'm thoroughly fucking entertained. I'd like to see a little bit more of Toru and Kobayashi, but I'm still not complaining though. I mean, I'm fine with it. I love it. It's great.
Mhm.
I think that this is clearly anime of the season. Clearly, like this is the one. This is in a category of its own. As good as Revengers is, as good as Peach Boy is, as good as I guess Boku no Hero is with some episodes. It's just there. It's a league below it. This is a league in and of itself. That's how I feel. And yeah, as far as the other shows on our summer roundup, I kind of feel like they're kind of weak. But again, it's summer. We expect this as weebs. Yeah. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, like it's kind of hard. You're comparing such a high. It's like the A+ student versus like everyone else that's like a C, C+,
It's
B-.
almost unfair, isn't it? It's almost unfair because Kyoto Animation just gives us like such high production. It's almost unfair to compare this to like a Tokyo Revengers or Four Hoes. Like these shows, Revengers is not a good example because Revengers has a really good plot. But just look at Girlfriend. This was never going to be on the same par as fucking Kobayashi. You know what I mean? I can't speak about Itaden, but the way that Boku no Hero has been going, this was never going to be on par with Kobayashi, So we kind of knew this coming in, and it's been proven true to my eyes. I mean, it's clear to me. I'm a Kobayashi fanboy, dude. I'm so glad you told me, hey, you have to see season 1 because, season 2 is coming out in summer. I'm so glad you made me do that because I love it. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what else are you watching? Anything else interesting or worth the viewers' time?
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting little things this season. There's some sequels whenever if you're watching then watch it. But dude, I don't know how they keep doing it week after week, man. But Dragon Quest, this has been out for like almost a year by now. Yeah,
I think it came out. I think it came out in the fall of 2020. I believe so. So it's been going. It's a long running series. Yeah.
So yeah, like that's still going on, and like I don't know how it still is keeping the quality episode after episode, but that's a totally just old option. You can't really recommend this to anyone. 44 episodes in.
I mean, it is. It's airing during the summer season, but it's not really like a summer anime. Yeah. But I'm glad to hear that the quality is keeping up with that one.
Yeah. And then, from this season, one show that's really been on, like, high on my radar out of nowhere. I knew it was going to be good, but I didn't expect it to be this good. But, dude, Madoka Magica spinoff, well, I don't even call it spinoff. Magica Record Season 2.
How is it?
Oh,
good?
Oh, fire. It's like we're right in deep into that good stuff, man. We're right deep in the good stuff. Like I was amazed when I booted up that first episode, and I got Sakuga all over my face. They were just throwing at me. I thought I was watching a movie or something.
Is the animation really good?
Oh, it's beautiful. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I was expecting something good, I was like, okay, it's kind of a spin-off side thing. It's like, okay, but then like this episode 1 hits, and it's like, oh, this is deep, good stuff. Like the story is progressing like crazy. Like I'm back deep in. It's like, ooh, this is some good stuff. Some good stuff.
I've asked you this before, but I'll ask it again. Is it as good as the original series, or are you enjoying it even more? Where are you
I
think? What
I,
do you
th-
think about it?
I think I like the original first season more than the original first
You
season.
like Magia Records' first season more than Madoka Magica?
Madoka.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What about this one? The
Yeah.
second season?
This it's continuing right from there, man. It's
Yeah.
continuing. Like I thought it'd been since it's been so many months and all that kind of stuff. It's like,
Hmm.
okay, maybe it wasn't as good as I remember it being. Maybe I'm overhyping it. Maybe as I keep telling more and more people to watch it, it's like
Right.
maybe I was overhyping. And then I watched that first episode. And I'm like, oh no, I was right this whole time. I
Yep.
was right this whole time. People gotta be getting watching in this. So if you've watched Madoka Magica and the movie, easy recommend. Watch this. I wouldn't even call it spin-off. Watch this side story here. This is some really fantastic
Did
stuff that they've been doing here.
did season 2 come out in the summer, or has this been ongoing since the spring? Is this a summer
It's
anime?
yeah, it's summer. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah. So this is the second season. So but
Yeah.
that first season is so good, and people are gonna be watching it. If you watch that first season, you're gonna be wanting to see some more of that spice and see the story and how this is all connecting and all this crazy Madoka stuff. It's Madoka. That's what you expect to see here.
Yeah.
So that's been a real nice surprise for me there.
So yeah, for just real quick before you move on, Germs, I take full credit for getting you into Madoka.
Hmm.
Who is the one guy who got you into Madoka? You didn't think anything of it, and I totally. But you know what you get to take credit for with me is Kobayashi, because I would not have watched Kobayashi if it wasn't for you. But then again, I called it early with Demon Slayer too. I was like, dude, you gotta watch this. You didn't even know what Demon Slayer was, and then the anime was coming out. I was like, dude, you gotta watch this Demon Slayer thing. But yeah, just let the people, just so the people know at home, he's really enjoying Maki Record, but I am the one who got him into Madoka, and I'm hyped. You hyped for that fourth movie to come out and finish the mainline series?
It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful.
I can't
it's
wait
gonna be
for
absolutely
that.
wild. It's gonna be wild. That's for sure. So yeah, another nice, wholesome, just good show. It's not on the same tier as Kobayashi, but a really nice one has been Jaya-san. It's been really nice.
Is that's out right now?
Mm,
How is that?
yeah, it's really nice. It's a nice little slow comedy slice of life. A little bit of fantasy aspect in there.
Give me the premise. Give me the premise.
Yeah, so basically, this she was like the demon lord or one of the top generals of the demon lord, whatever. And then it's basically literally what's it called? Devil's a part-timer. It's like Demon Lord Castle gets destroyed. That. Yeah, Demon Lord Castle gets destroyed. She lost most of her power. She just has this little gemstone of power to let her stay into a normal big human form, and then most other times she just like a little child form because she doesn't have enough energy to be her normal self. So it's just like a nice little comedy of like a little munchkin, doing random little things, trying to get back her power, or talk to her old subordinates, but in that little child form.
That's cute.
So it's
That's
just
funny.
So yeah, it's just like a funny comedy slice of life kind of thing. A little bit of fantasy in there, but it's just nice and funny just to see the interactions between her and the other characters, and the other characters are nice and well thought out, and it's like nice. It's not like the animation and stuff isn't as top quality as Kobayashi, but it's a nice little. It's like watching Devil's a Part-Timer, but again, but with new characters. So it's like, oh, okay, this is nice.
Does she meet like humans and she's like friends with certain humans or something like that? Yeah. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. And like one of them finds out, and it's like they don't even care. It's like, oh,
That's
so
funny.
It's just a nice little comfy show just to watch back. We'll come back and watch too. Some real spicy good stuff. There's actually a few some really good spicy ones here. I don't even know what the English name is, but you could probably check it up. Megane Ryo no Ryo Bu-kun. It's like girls' dormitory or something, goddess dormitory or something like that. From just the top of my head.
Yeah,
but it's got big ass titties.
Does
tons of big ass titties.
I need to research this then. Bear.
Yeah, no, it's Bear anime titties. It's got the uncensored episode right from the the get go. It's good stuff. I you've probably seen some gifs and some memes. Like it's big ass titties. The only problem, this is just the normal problem, even with dojins and stuff. The main character's a bit young. He's like middle school or something. The usual kind of. The Japanese, they love their shotas and stuff. Whatever. I don't know why, but it's got big ass titties. You just gotta kind of cover over the MC and just like imagine yourself in there, and then it's just big ass titties. They know what they're at. It's fan service. It's just that good, pop lewd popcorn,
Yeah, I'm surprised that they had this uncensored like already, because usually we have to wait for the uncensored version. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you looking up them gifs.
I'm doing my research here, bro. It is, by the way, it is called Mother of Goddess Dormitory. So you were correct in that.
That's been some spicy watching. Like, I need to watch some spicy episodes this week. I'm like, put on this new episode. It's like, big ass titties bouncing. It's that good stuff. That good monkey brain shit. Yep. So that's been a nice one there. Another nice, kind of lewd, not as lewd, in that kind of way, but the Shinigami Bokan no Kuro Maid. So it's like Black Maid and the Duke or something, Duke of Darkness or something.
That's the CG one. Is that the CG one?
The CG one.
How is that?
That's been a nice. Yeah, the story's really nice. I love the character interaction between Alice and all I know is women. The women names in all these shows. I don't remember the main character.
Yeah,
but it's a nice wholesome lewd a bit. She's a little bit lewd because he can't touch her, so she's like always like pulling down her shirt. Right. So it's like I love the characters and like the story that's going on there. It's a nice little show. If you can get past the CG. That's really the main barrier. That's the big barrier of the entry there. Yeah. If you can get past that, it's just a good, nice, good, wholesome lewd show. Like kind of like Nagatoro in a way.
Right.
Like I guess probably Nagatoro's the best like similar show to that, but just imagine Nagatoro but in CG.
Right.
So, but other than that, this season really hasn't had many, bangers. I guess there's technically Slime Season 2, Part 2.
Yeah, how's that going?
Good. It's good. Yeah, it's good.
Yep.
I really like where the story's going. The story's went a little bit more of a spicy, darker side, but it's still good. It's still that same old slime.
Right.
But everything else is just kind of... Scarlet Nexus, the usual game adaptation anime of the season.
Well, you love those, so I assume that you have nothing positive.
I'm still watching. It's nice. I need to play the game.
Yeah,
but it's just like I like all these other shows like Higurashi. It's like it's Higurashi again.
Please, let's give me an update on Higurashi, because I'm the guy who got off the train and you're still riding the train. So how is it?
Well, my feelings for this show keep changing like every week. It feels like, man. But I think for this one, I think I'm gonna stay on this feeling for a while. But like, I'm just confused, man. It's like I originally thought, I'm like, okay, this is like a retelling of of all the previous events, or like, oh, this is a new timeline and all that stuff. It's like, wait a second. It's like, this has all been the same fucking timeline. We just keep rewatching over and over and over again.
Are you kidding me?
But like, but this one has an interesting twist on it, because it's like we're seeing it from like our third perspective, I guess. So Mayabara-kun, whatever his name was like in the original series, like the main MC. It's like we saw most of the stuff from his perspective, and that's all we ever saw. And then with the remake, like we kind of saw different perspectives, and like, okay, it's like, oh, is this still the same? Is it a continuation, or is just like a retelling? But I think my current thoughts on these remakes is basically like it's a remake, but from a different perspective. Instead of being from his perspective, it's from another character's perspective. So we're seeing it from someone else's, from the whoever is going infected's point of view. It's like, okay, so we're seeing some of the stuff we didn't see, or questions we might have had beforehand. And then with this latest season, we're seeing it from this third perspective from what was the girl? I forget
I
what her
know who
name
you're
was.
talking about. I'll pull it up.
Sakoto,
I'll
something.
pull it up. Just keep talking.
Hojo, I think it's Hojo. Something I know the family name.
Satoko Hojo. Yeah.
Yeah. So now we're seeing it from the third.
Yeah. The blondie, right?
Yeah.
Fuck her.
So now it's been shown. It's like, she's really like the main villain of the series in a way. It's like, so it's like, oh, wait a second. It's like, I have all these kind of things. It's like, oh, has she like been like in on it the whole time? It's like, okay, this is like a little bit interesting. Some thoughts and like the series, like, okay, that's pretty interesting. Like this whole time, like when something like random would happen for her, that's like, oh, that's a little weird. Why would she do that? Like when we watched like the original season, original series. But now it's like, now watching from her perspective, it's like, oh, this makes a lot of sense. It's like a lot of things are starting to connect. It's like the motivations are garbage. Like her motivation for being evil, it's pure garbage. It's just garbage. But like the idea of her actually being the villain, her also rewinding through these times, it's like, okay, things are starting to kind of make sense in their own little way, but it's still not good. It's just, it's like, I connected that one dot, randomly.
So it's
like,
not
okay.
good. That's what I'm here for. Is it good or is it not good? Did I make a good decision jumping off the train?
Yeah, you've seen the series. You've seen the series.
I've seen it. I've seen enough of it. I've seen enough of it at this point. I think this whatever the fuck you want to call this, right? I think it's always gonna have a cloud over its head as to what the fuck is this? Is it a remake? Is it a continuation? Is it an alternate timeline? Is it all of them in one? I don't know. You would know better than me, but yeah, this thing was doomed to fail just based on the premise of it, I've said this before. I think some shows are too complicated for their own good. Higurashi, even the original Higurashi was too complicated for its own good. This remake, When They Cry retelling Sotsu Go 2020 and 2021, whatever you want to call it. This is even more complicated for its own good. So yeah, I'm not glad that you're going through some pain here, buddy, but I am glad that I'm not watching it, Like I feel vindicated. Mm-hmm. If you were to sit here and tell me like, "Oh, dude, it's so good. You should be watching." I'd be like, "Fuck." But
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and other than like these kind of shows and what we've already had in the roundup, it's like there isn't much this season really. Yeah, I keep trying to like recommend people shows that like this season. I'm like, okay, what's the show to recommend this season? It's like Kobayashi.
Well, Kobayashi's easy, but if someone wants a new show, it's like, what do you pick?
I don't know. It's like, yeah, I don't even know. It's like, do I recommend Girlfriend and Girlfriend? It's like, I have one friend group of just people that watch this kind of garbage, like Rent a Girlfriend and all that. They love this stuff. So it's like, okay, Girlfriend and Girlfriend, it's a perfect recommendation for them. But like, to a normal person, it's like, yeah, I guess Kobayashi and if you can stomach it, I guess it's not, if it's a little bit more spicy, Itaden's a really nice one. But like everything else is just kind of like, can I really recommend like Dragon Quest with 40 episodes? Not really. Can I recommend the big ass? I guess the big ass titty, the Goddess Dormitory, I guess,
By the way,
like, it's such niches that I'm like trying to like recommend series here.
Well, yeah, I think Kobayashi's the safe one. That's good, wholesome. Yeah, go ahead.
So it's like the only safe one. Everything else is just kind of like you have to be in that niche.
Well, Boku no Hero is 5 seasons deep. Peach Boy is all over the fucking place. I would probably recommend Peach Boy, but wait till it's done airing and then we'll have a list for you. Yeah, 4 Hoes, that's a certain type of taste. Yeah, I don't even. Is Itaden good? How's Itaden doing?
Yeah.
Is that like?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Kobayashi is easily my number one. I don't see Itaden surpassing it, right? So if we had Peach Boy, I'm trying to think because we have Tokyo Revengers and Boku no Hero from continuing, right? So the new ones besides Kobayashi, which is in a league of its own, we have Peach Boy, 4 Hoes, and Itaden. Is Itaden the best of those 3 for you?
Yeah, I would say definitely.
Definitely. I gotta get caught up. I gotta get caught up. Okay, now take away just those three. Of all of the new shows this season, besides Kobayashi, is Itaden second best? Of
Yeah.
new stuff. You can't like you look probably like Mage
Yeah.
Record more, but that's not a new show. That's a continuation.
Yeah. I would say, yeah, looking at everything else I'm watching here, I think that's a definite recommend. Like, Jaya's nice and all. Like, Sunny Boy is also really interesting and cool and all.
Oh,
But
Sunny Boy. Talk to me about Sunny Boy, dude. Is Sunny Boy good? How do you
it's
feel
good.
about Sunny Boy?
It's good. It's good stuff. It's like sometimes you're looking at it's a little weird. It's like you feel like you're not even watching anime anymore. It's like did I just like wake up from like a dream?
Yeah,
Like,
it's funny.
but like it's a nice good show. It's not. I'm not like super on the edge of my seat. Like, oh, I gotta see this next episode to see where it continues off here. But it's like, oh, this is like some interesting stuff is all going on here. Some cool stuff. Some weird stuff. Definitely some weird stuff here. But it's like, okay, this is a nice little interesting watch. This is a unique feeling show. There's definitely nothing like this at the moment.
Worth a
And
watch?
That's literally the
Are you happy you
yeah. I would
checked
say
it out?
yeah, I would definitely recommend this. Like, it's not like it's a unique and like like you watch, you're like, oh, that's a unique. But like four hoes, it's like, oh, no one's ever done four girlfriends at once. But like,
I don't know, man. Four hoes
Yeah.
is pretty fucking generic. I don't know if I agree with
Yeah.
that. We've
Yeah, but
seen.
Sunny Boys, it's like,
Yeah, go ahead.
there you go. It's like Sunny Boys, like it's like a unique. It's like, oh, it feels unique. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I can't really get this anywhere else,
Mm-hmm.
So that's been nice.
Sunny Boy is that one restaurant that has a certain type of taste that you'll not get at any other restaurant. You know what I mean? Yeah. so that's
Burger
cool.
King.
That's
It's
not
just-
necessarily a compliment. I actually used to love Burger King. I fucking hate it now. But yeah. All right. So then, here's our thoughts on the summer season. So yeah, that's basically what we think of it. I think we both agree Kobayashi's the best, right? Now, just before we end this weekly discussion here, let's compare this season to previous seasons this year and even just in general. Solid season, a little bit of a slower season. What do you make of this season?
I would say that this is definitely a slower season.
Yeah.
Definitely, for sure. There's only one big hitter, and then like, oh, okay, this is a unique new show. It's like, oh, I don't think people are really watching Itaden. Also,
I don't think so
probably
either.
'cause- especially since how crazy the first few episodes are. It's like it can turn off a lot of people. If you don't have the stomach for it, or you
Yeah.
hear about it, and like you can't just like start it up and like and not be like whoa, what's happening here?
Well, yeah, for an anime fan that's used to a certain style of show, it's certainly it's like a Sunny Boy. It's different. It's got that different artistic design to it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think those shows are like to a normal person I would recommend for the season. With that caveat for Itaden, to be warned, beforehand what crazy stuff is gonna happen. But everything else is just such niches, like if you want some lewd shit, there you go. You want some, your idol show, there you go. Your game show, there you go.
Which idol show?
Like
I don't think you've talked about
Love
it.
Live.
Oh, Love Live?
Love
Yeah,
Live.
You haven't even talked about that one yet. Good?
Well, it's just Love Live,
Just
It's
Love
like,
Live at this point.
It's just Love Live. I'm watching it
Yeah.
because I'm already so deep in. But like, Madoka, if you're already watching Madoka, I've heard the Digimon stuff is pretty good. So if you're into that, Digimon, there you go.
It's kind of like
Quest,
it's
there
like
you
a
go.
Dragon Quest. It's like it already has so many episodes. You're either watching it or you're not. It's not something that you can kind of like pick up,
Mm-hmm. So it's just like, it's a lot of stuff is really hard to recommend other than those initial three that we said there.
Yeah. Typical summer season. We expect as anime fans the summer season to be slow, but I'll tell you what, man. Kobe, for me, I can't. I'm just gonna be a fanboy till the day I die. But I gotta tell you, man, Kobayashi really fucking picks up the slack. I am perfectly fine with the season of bunch of misses and Kobayashi. Like I cannot undersell how much I enjoy it. Like I seriously enjoy this as much as Nagatoro. Like it's up there in that S tier category for me, Fucking great stuff. But yeah,
Mhm.
summer, a little bit slower. I think, yeah, we expected this. We expected this. Guys and gals, weebs out there, what did you make of our discussion? Comment down below. What do you make of the summer 2021 anime season? We're midway through it. Isn't that crazy? Halfway through it. So yeah, you guys enjoying it? A little bit slow for you guys. I think the general consensus is that it's a little bit slower. But yeah, let us know down in the comments below. We'd love to hear your guys' opinion. What are you guys watching this season? And yeah, you guys enjoying it? All right. That'll be it for our discussion. A little bit of a slower season, but yeah, I think we both agree on a lot of aspects. All right, so let's get into some news here. We got hey man, 2 weeks off. We got a lot of news to get through here.
Mhm.
All right, let's start off with this big one for all you JoJo fans out there. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure series teases JoJo Land's title. That'll be part 9. Announces a spin-off manga, and part 8 is officially in the books. It's officially complete. Talk to the people about your part 8 experience, Germs.
Whew. Yeah, because I knew this was ending, today. Well, for us,
Mhm.
like I was like, okay, I knew what day it was gonna end. I was like, okay, a few days before that, I'm gonna start reading it, and read through it all, and then ended off with on the day of whatever reading the last chapter, and it was a wild time. It's very very unique and different JoJo than what I was expecting. Like it was more darker,
Really?
more gory. It was like, whoa, very, very interesting, and it gave me back those vibes of Part 4 because it's like a remake or whatever of Part 4 in a way, with
Mhm.
same characters and similar characters, in a different way.
Mhm.
So it's like I was expecting a little bit of more mystery, a little bit more thriller and all that stuff. So like it was a lot of like mystery and questions that I was wondering, and being teased. But it's a very dark, very gory part. I was like looking at some of these like scenes. I'm like, ooh, I think be able to even do that in an anime. It's like this is oof,
Yeah.
oof, oof. I didn't expect see something so dark and like gory. Not like super. It's not like crazy, crazy like gory stuff. But it's like like you think about it in manga form. It's like it's like okay, I can see how this can this is just normal stuff. But then you actually think about like, wait, so if they're gonna animate that, like Twitter is just gonna be exploding all over the place, like
Mhm.
talking about all this stuff. So it's like it's very interesting, very very. It wasn't one of it's not my favorite part. I don't think it. In any way, it was the best part, but it's like very interesting, very unique, very unique. There's no question about that. He tried some new things out here.
For
He didn't
sure.
stick to the normal. He didn't stick to the normal formula of of JoJo. So I was really that was a really nice aspect, but it just as an overall story, I didn't like it as much as a usual JoJo. But I did enjoy the aspects, the unique aspects that that Rocky brought to the table here, and wasn't afraid to bring out some new things. And he I think that's what I really enjoyed the most about this part 8 was like I was seeing something unique from JoJo. I wasn't seeing part 4 again. I was seeing a new JoJo.
That's
So
good.
it was very nice, very nice. It's very unique.
Very good part. Happy with it.
Hmm.
All right,
Yeah.
so yeah, so let's just run through it. The spinoff I talked about, the title I read says first spinoff, but we did have the spoke Kishibe Rohan. So I guess this will be like a second spinoff. Yeah, so we're getting a spinoff manga. Part 8 is officially in the books. Done. You've read it all. You know how good or not good it is. Part 9, not officially announced. JoJo Lands is the working title. Part 8 done. Part 9 coming. That's manga. Let's move over to the anime side. We have part 6 coming sooner than we all thought. So part 6 is going to air in December on Netflix this year. So yeah, I mean that's a lot of JoJo news, man. What do you make of that? Part 6 coming already. And by the way,
I couldn't.
we've seen the trailer, so you could also talk about what we saw. I mean, I think it looks good. It looks like classic
Mhm.
David Productions. But yeah, what do you think, bro?
Yeah, Looks everything I wanted to say. I saw my girl got nerfed a little bit.
Did
they didn't make
she?
her. No, 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 no. It's like like her it's very small, but like her
Her
panties are
tits?
like
Okay.
no, no, no. Like they make them more like bigger like normal pants, whatever. It's like okay, I guess they can't have her walking out like in like a bikini bottoms,
She can't be looking like a skank. Um, yeah,
But
but
other than that, it's like everything else is like, oh, that's exactly what I want to see. It's like beautiful. The animation looks exactly back like we're back at it again in the best way possible.
yeah, and yeah, it's gonna be worldwide on Netflix. So no Netflix jail. It'll be out in the fall season, but later in the fall season, David Productions kind of does their own thing. They have it coming out in December. So yeah, everyone with Netflix, or if you don't have it, grab your friends' login information every week. I assume it'll be coming out subbed, and we can all enjoy it. No jail, none of that BS. Yeah, part five had like, I don't want to say production issues, but when it was coming out weekly, I noticed some like weird spots. But they fix them in the Blu-ray releases. I get that they get touched up, but yeah, if we could get some quality, high production, good JoJo, I'm super hyped. I think it's safe to say it absolutely will be on the weekly roundup. That's just a no-brainer. It's
Hmm.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Yeah, I thought we'd be really hyped about this, but this has kind of been out there for a little bit, and
Well, as we get closer and closer, probably.
oh yeah, we'll be a lot more hyped. I think part eight we knew about. Part nine he's talked about. The real one that surprises me is part six coming out animated. Like I didn't think it. Did you think it'd come out in 2021?
No, not at all.
Not
I
at
thought it
all.
was gonna
I mean,
be.
there was memes about like 2023. You know what I mean? Like the fact, and it's not. It's gonna air. It's gonna continue airing into 2022. Like it's majority is probably gonna be in 2022, just like part five. Part 5 was 19 going into 20, I believe, but, yeah, just the fact that we get the beginning, it's gonna start airing in 2021, I would not have guessed that at all, not even remotely,
Mhm.
so, guys and gals out there, JoJo fans, which you have to be, if you're not, get that checked out. What do you make of this news? Yeah, I mean, you have to say it's positive. I'm just shocked that we're getting part 6 already. Alright, let's move on here. We have another big piece of news here. I don't know if you've heard of this franchise either, Germs. It's called, I don't even know how to say it, Evangelion? Evangelion? I don't even know how to say it. Evangelion breaks streaming record following Amazon debut, so now you can watch the rebuild, I assume all of the rebuild series on Amazon Prime, and yeah, it's accessible in North America. I'm not sure if it's dubbed or not, but it is officially brought out here. So, as an anime fan, you can enjoy the movie that's the most hyped and talked about, other than Demon Slayer's movie, right? I mean, that one is clearly the biggest anime movie actually the biggest anime movie of all time. But the one that would make headlines every once in a while was this fourth and final rebuild movie. You have not seen it, right? You've
Mhm.
seen the first three.
Yep. Wild.
You hyped for this fourth one?
Mhm. Yeah, I'm interested to see where they take it from the third one here. Whew.
Yeah, and you know what? All the reviews are positive, and I wasn't expecting it to get released over here so soon, but I'm happy. I mean, I'm
Oh,
not complaining.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, I can watch it right now. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
we could watch it right now, bro. We should we should watch it soon. Get a review out for you guys. We probably should, but yeah, that stunned me. I thought that it'd be like a year or at least like two, knowing how it goes sometimes. Um, yeah, big movie. It's breaking streaming records, so everyone's watching it. Everyone's digging it. Um, Not much to say other than I I would talk about my thoughts and feelings about the original series, but that's a whole little special I can do. Evangelion means a lot to me for personal reasons. I have not seen anything of the rebuild series, and I'm hyped for it. Not too hyped for it. Not trying to get my expectations up because I know it's completely different from the '90s series. I know it's completely takes it in a different route, but yeah,
definitely.
for all our North American audience, which we assume is probably most of you guys. You can check it out right now on Amazon Prime. They should, by the way, they should pay us for the plug. But yeah, it's officially out here in the States. Surprises me. Hey, man, things are coming out quick these days.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on to all right, so those are the big topics for news. Let's get on to some new releases. First new release coming out that I want to talk about, and you'll talk about it more than me. Ganbare Doki-chan. It's gonna get a web anime. Talk to me about this one.
Oh, it's good stuff, man. You know, I check my Twitter. I follow the. I don't even know I don't know Japanese, but you know, I love looking at the Twitter and just seeing the new images. I don't know what they're saying, but you know, the content and the characters, even just from the body language and what I've seen in the panels. It's like I can't wait to see this. I can't wait to see this with actual subtitles and stuff, man. I feel like the story and the characters are going to be nice. I imagine it's probably not going to be like full episodes. Maybe like something shorter.
It's going to be an ONA, I guess. This says web anime. Have you read this?
I see. I've seen every panel. I just don't know what it says. I just don't know what they'd be saying in there.
We are shooting straight from the hip here because we both have not read it. Okay, so that's interesting, but good stuff.
Well, it's not a manga or anything. It's a like from someone's Twitter. They just post a picture. They just post pictures.
Okay, so this is not a manga.
So, yeah, I probably should explain that. Yeah.
Okay, explain.
Yeah, so like they on this person's Twitter and probably their accounts, like they just post like a page or like a few panels of their own little like these characters interacting with each other. You have the main character always faceless. Then you have the little shorter girl, not too. She's kind of more flat. And then you have senpai girl, big titties.
I see two of them with big tits.
Yeah, then you have Kohai girl, big ass titties with the mole. I know these characters. I've never seen a single translation.
You basically know how they look, but you don't know anything about them. That's funny. So so it's a webcomic that he publishes on Twitter, and he only publishes he'll only publish like a little bit, like it's not even a full chapter or anything like that.
Yeah, there's never full chapters. It's just like a few panels of some stuff. So it's
listen, man. I'll
probably have to show you some stuff. But
yeah, send me for research purposes. Send me some stuff. Listen, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, okay? But the last time we had an ONA, house husband, like if there's not a lot of content to work off of, I just hope it's not a slideshow. That's all I hope. Please, just don't give us a slideshow. But yeah, guys and gals, if you guys know about Ganbare Doki-chan, we'll link it down below in the description so you guys can check out their Twitter. We don't know much about it, but we know it has big tits, and Germs is familiar with the characters in it. All right, let's get on to another new release here. This is one that you're definitely familiar with. This is Komi Can't Communicate. We've talked about this one before, I assume. It's coming out in the fall. We knew that. It's going to debut on October 6th. We had a new visual and a new trailer. We both checked them out. How hyped are you for this?
Oh, it's beautiful. It feels just like how Nagatoro was for me. Again, it's like the adaptation and the style that they're giving it, and like they're keeping the art style while still cleaning it up a bit and giving it that unique kind of like feel to the colors and backgrounds and stuff. It's like, this is that nice adaptation. They didn't just give it to that basic girlfriend kind of treatment where it kind of looks just like a normal anime. This feels like the one and only Komi-san,
Yes.
People aren't gonna like confuse this with something else.
We can't taste this dish yet, but we can fucking smell it. And just from all the hints, from the trailer, from the visuals, it looks like this will be a great adaptation. I don't know if you know the source material is good, but from my perspective, I don't know if the source material is good, but I do know this shit looks beautiful. And I think I'm going to like the premise of it. Yeah, this is going to be a great adaptation. Even, what's funny? I think I can't stress how important it is to have a great adaptation, because there's anime like Tokyo Revengers is a bad example, but there's stuff that has good plot, good characters, but you just watch it and you wish it had a good adaptation. And then there's stuff that's kind of like not the best, but the adaptation just takes it to new heights. This, even if I don't fall in love with it, I will certainly fall in love with the visuals, the sound, the designs. It looks beautiful. I can't wait for this to be on the weekly roundup. Spoiler alert. But yeah, there's no way that this can't be on the weekly roundup. Not for as much as you love it, for as much as I'm intrigued about it. Komi can't communicate. Anything in particular you want to talk about with this one?
No, there's a lot of story and content for it to keep going for seasons. But I think I think they're not gonna try to rush this or condense this in any kind of way. It's too long for them to try to condense it in any kind of way.
Please don't rush it. I hate rushed anime.
So they have enough content to work with. The content's fantastic. I think everyone's gonna love the story and the characters. So it's just gonna be good, man. It's gonna feel good every week. I'm gonna be feeling good and like, oh, these characters, I love them. I love what they're doing here. I'm just really excited and happy to see that it's getting the adaptation that it deserves.
What about the character designs? Do they look good to you?
Yeah, it looks exactly like brought right from the manga. Right to life. They look a little weird because it has its own special, unique designs that.
The only thing that looks weird is the hair to me. That's all. But I mean, it's fine. It's not even a big deal.
Yeah, it's how their hair looks, so it's kind of hard to adapt it without completely making their hair like something different, new.
It reminds me. I just talked about adaptations. Horimiya, which we had earlier this year, season right before we started this podcast. Beautiful adaptation. Completely rushed. They rushed the whole fucking 100 and whatever chapters in 12 episodes. But because the adaptation was so good, I still fell in love with it. You know what I mean? I get like Horimiya vibes off of this. I don't know if they'll rush it. I don't know how good it'll be. I don't know anything about it. I just know the production is so high. They're going to have to really fumble for me not to love this one. So I'm hyped about it. Guys and gals, are you guys watching Komi-san when it comes out? We definitely are. It will certainly be on our weekly roundup. We're very hyped for it. We'll definitely be talking about it in the future. Definitely for the fall preseason. We'll be very hyped about it. All right, let's continue here with new releases coming out. We have a very interesting one. Star Wars Visions. Why the fuck are we talking about Star Wars on this podcast? Well, it's an anime, so that's why we're talking about it. It's coming out on Disney Plus on September 22nd. This is I guess an ONA. It's like a web series. So there's going to be 9 episodes. They're short films. So we assume every episode is going to be a different story within the Star Wars pantheon. I got to be honest. I really don't fuck with Star Wars. I don't really care about it that much. I've tried to get into Star Wars many times. It just doesn't connect with me personally. I fully respect people that love it. But I gotta say, man, this looks beautiful. I have no idea if the stories are going to be good or interesting or if I'll be lost, but it looks good. The animation looks solid. What do you make of this trailer that we have?
Yeah, I was really interested. We were just like talking about it randomly before we started. We're like, oh, hey, this is random Star Wars version. You know anything about it? It's like, nope, I didn't know nothing. You know nothing? It's like, let's check it out real quick. And we're like, hey, this is actually kind of cool,
Yeah.
Like, the only thing that's like a little bit a question mark is it's done by a lot of the ones are done by different studios, so it's like some episodes might be like fire, some episodes might
yeah, they might look different.
So yeah, so I think they're definitely gonna look different. I think it's mostly just like the quality. It's like are the trigger ones gonna look beautiful but like have bad stories, or we have no idea. But I think it's really interesting that Star Wars is getting an anime, and yeah. It feels so weird. It feels so weird saying that.
Yeah, it does.
And luckily it's only like 9 episodes, so hey, hopefully it's good. It looks pretty cool from what we've seen. And
yeah, I don't know if we're sold on this. I'm not promising that we'll review this for the pod, but it's something we'll keep our eye out on, right? We'll keep our eye out on this one. Looks beautiful. I know Trigger's one of the studios. They have a whole gang of studios doing this one. Trigger's one of them. Say what you will about Trigger. I'm not a Trigger fanboy, but they do have good quality sakuga and good action scenes. So yeah, Star Wars. And Guys, weebs, are any of you gonna watch this?
Star Wars fans.
Star Wars fans, definitely. We'll definitely be talking to you about this one. You guys interested in this one? Well, if you're a Star Wars fan at this point, you'll eat up anything Star Wars. Like, this is something that you'll definitely. I'm not saying that they'll like it. You know what I mean? Like these new sequels trilogy we had. Not everyone likes them, but the Star Wars fans still watch them. You know what I mean? So if you're a Star Wars fan, you'll probably check this out. So yeah, that's gonna be it for the new series coming out. We had the Twitter one, two girls with big tits. That's all I know about it. Komi-san, Star Wars. Let's get into some news about continuing shows. This one's slated for the fall. It is also controversial. A lot of people hate this one. Me and Germs love it. Mushoku Tensei, second season or season 1 part 2, however they want to classify it as. It's the second core of the season. We'll preface this by saying yes, we know there's a lot of people that hate it, especially on the timeline, on the Twitter timeline. I see a lot of people talk shit about it. But me and Germs unapologetically love this. I think I'm not speaking out of term here when I say it's both our favorite isekai, right? I think we both agree with that. This is this is contender for season 1 part 1 was contender for anime of the year for me so far, but yeah, because that came out in the winter. So yeah, we have a new visual here coming out October 3rd, I believe. How hyped are you for this, Germs?
Oh, it's gonna be fantastic. I absolutely love what they did the first season, and I see no reason why they wouldn't continue it. You know?
Yeah. I mean, nothing much else to say other than we're very hyped. Another spoiler, this is definitely going to be on the weekly roundup. I mean, we love this one so much. We know that not everyone loves this one, but we fucking love this one. Came out in the winter, right? Winter was stacked, man. I wish we had this podcast going during the winter because there was Attack on Titan, Shoku Tensei, just so much good. Wonder Egg, the season, not that fucking special. There's so much stuff coming out that good winter season. And much like Nagatoro, if you've heard the controversies about this one, and I this one more than Nagatoro, I can understand why people are turned off, you know, but just watch it. You can look past it. Some people can't. We could. We're degenerates. We could look past it. It's totally worth your time. Very hyped. Anything to say about the visual? You've read the manga, right? So you're a little bit farther in the story. How's the visual look to you? Is that where you expect the story to be going?
Yeah. That's exactly what I was expecting to see here. So, and seeing some of the character, you probably didn't notice, but the character sang on the building in the background.
I was just about to ask you about that.
So yeah, I'm excited to see this new part, and hopefully it's adapted as beautifully as they did the first part.
Dude, that again, we've been talking about adaptations. That fucking adaptation was beautiful for that first season. Yeah, if they keep up that quality, this is contender for anime of the year. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's talk about another controversial one here. Another continuing series. This is Record of Ragnarok. I thought it was overhated. By the way, right here, we'll put up a timestamp so you guys can check it out. But we did a review for it. But yeah, it's going to get a second season. A lot of people were talking mad shit. Oh man, they're not going to do a second season. There's no way that Netflix wants this piece of crap to continue, but they are, and they will. JC Staff, was it JC Staff that did the shit?
I think so.
I'm confusing a lot of the fucking Netflix adaptations at this point. I'll look it up, but yeah, Record of Ragnarok. We've read a little bit further into the manga. So what do you make of this season 2? Are you hyped?
Yeah, I'm hyped to see this is gonna be some spicy fights. Hopefully, they give a little bit more budget to the fights this time, but
yeah, right.
But I'm excited to see what they do here. There isn't too many things. You know, the manga is only so long, unfortunately. But
yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem that we should talk about. It's done by Grafnica. It's not done by JC Staff. I'm just talking out of my ass. Sorry, Grafnica, for comparing you to JC Staff. That's like insulting, and you know, that's a low blow. I shouldn't have compared you guys to JC Staff. I'm sorry for that. Yeah, dude, that one fight that comes next. I think it comes next. I won't spoil it, but fuck, man, I want to see that shit animated. I really want to see that shit animated. Yeah, that's a problem because if they catch it, like they could probably do a second season, but they probably couldn't do a third season at this point, huh? And I
I don't
believe
think so.
it comes out monthly.
Hmm. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
monthly,
they're
so
gonna
it
run
takes a
out of
long while.
they're gonna run out of material to come out with here pretty soon. So, but I'm hyped. Listen, I didn't hate the first season like everyone did. You guys will see that in the review if you check it out. I didn't love it though. So, I think the story and the premise is so interesting that it keeps me excited. But yeah, I'm certainly not going to claim that it's a fucking fantastic adaptation. You know what I mean? So, but I'm hyped. I'll be watching it. I'm not gonna lie, I'll be watching it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree as well. I'm gonna be watching and be like, maybe I should reread the manga. Maybe it'll give me motivation to reread the manga and be like, oh yeah, that's the good stuff. It's the good stuff.
yeah. Maybe it'll give me motivation to fucking catch up to the manga because I still haven't done that. But yeah, weebs out there, Record of Ragnarok. Are you guys still bitching about it, or are you guys coming around to it? Let us know down below. Definitely check out the manga, no matter what you do. The manga is fantastic. That's gonna be it for the weekly news. We went through JoJo, Evangelion, bunch of new shows coming out. Some returning shows coming.
Well, I think our biggest news section so far.
I think so. That was 7 different topics. I don't think we've ever had a show where we did 7 different news topics. And because we love you guys so much, we will give you guys some weekly thoughts here before we depart on this wonderful evening. We appreciate you guys sticking around for this long. Yeah, weekly thoughts, Germs. What do you got?
Oof. It's been a spicy few weeks because me and Jim's been so busy we haven't been able to see each other talk about stuff, but it's been a spicy few weeks for me, and then, no doubt, and that's for sure. I'm always getting something juicy and big going on. But
I can make a sexual joke, but I won't. And stop teasing the people. Stop teasing the people. I said, "What's your weekly thoughts?" And get to the goods, Germs. What do you got? What do you got for us?
Yeah, so obviously the audience doesn't know, but I was telling James I went to a tournament today.
Okay, yeah.
But I told him it was for Magic, but it was all a lie.
What the fuck?
I got
okay.
it. I'm a Digimon boy.
Shit.
I'm in that Digimon TCG.
Okay.
I live in.
Are you fully in it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god!
It's actually a kind of it's a fun yet cheap kind of
show me the cards.
Trading card.
Flip them over. Let's see them.
This is my favorite one, but it's kind of hard to I can't.
Okay. All right. Pause. Who got you into this?
I like Digimon.
People at the shop. The people at the local shop. We won't say the name. Yeah. So they got you into it. Was it?
So I was just sitting.
Was it a tourney at that local shop?
They had a tournament like the next day, and I was like, "Oh, I'll show up before the tournament, a few hours before, and you'll just play some, they'll show me some games." And then they'll like, after a few games, like, "Hey, you want to just use my deck and just go to the tournament?" I'm like, "Fuck it." So that was a few weeks ago.
Wow.
I've been playing ever since. My favorite part is like it's so cheap to get into the make a deck that's kind of fun to play with, and like the actual gameplay and like the cards and stuff is like really nice. I think that's my favorite part of it. It's like even common cards are like have their use because the common cards they have like weaker power, but they're cheap.
That's cool artwork. That looks cool.
They don't have any effects on them. They're just basic Digimon.
Vanilla. The vanilla cards, yeah.
Yeah, but because they're vanilla, they're cheap to play. They're cheap. They have a higher power maybe.
That's good.
So it's like even the commons you can just trade out some commons for some fancy art or like this one for example. You can trade it out for some big titties.
Yeah.
There's probably another.
Do they have some spice in the Digimon TCG?
Oh yeah, Angelmon, yeah, the classic Angel Woman Mon.
I wouldn't know, man. I never watched Digimon. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, because I watched the original first season like a year ago. I was like, oh, let me. Cause I loved Digimon as a kid, so I was like, oh, I never actually watched the first season from beginning to end. So I was like, oh, let me watch it. I was like, hey, this is actually kind of good. I still haven't seen the other seasons, but I was like, hey, I like the original Digimon.
Yeah.
But then now that I'm playing the game, it's like I want to see these other seasons to see some of these other characters like her, for example. It's like I want to know where these big titties come from, you know. I want to see the lore behind this stuff. So I was like, okay.
I told you, bro. I predicted this. I said once you get into TCGs, there's no turning back. So now you have Magic. Magic's like the big one for you, right? Then we got a little bit of Weiss in there. Now we got some Digimon in there. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
How would you the gameplay wise, like are you having it as fun as Magic? Like around as fun as that? Like how would you compare it to like other TCGs you've tried out?
Yeah, so like for me, like my favorite part of this game is like you're always having a large amount of cards. You're always like holding like like 8 cards in hand. You're like, okay, I have so many options. It's
are you not drawing dead? Is what you're basically saying?
Yeah, well, there's still technically it happens sometimes. It happened to me today, unfortunately, but that's because But it's like, okay, and now I know how to correct that. It's like, okay, I had too many of this level of Digimon. I had too many high level Digimon, not enough of this lower level Digimon. So it's like, okay, that's my fault for building the deck that way. Right. But like, just like the feeling, because like every time, like you never want to like hard play a Digimon onto another, like just onto the field. You always want to like level up, you know? Because every time you level up, you draw a card. You lose one card, but you draw a card. Instead of, you know, hard playing, you just lose the card. So it's like in Magic, like you just play that card and that's it. You don't draw another card, and unless you have some crazy ass deck in Magic.
Yeah, exactly.
But in Digimon, you're just like you always putting down a card, grabbing a card, putting down a card. Like it just feels good to draw so many cards and just have so many options. Like,
that's one of the, Yeah, that's one of the big problems with TCGs is drawing dead. I mean, fucking. Yu-Gi-Oh! You start with 5 cards, and Pot of Greed is banned. Like, it's very common in a lot of TCGs to draw dead, and so that's good that it's less common in Digimon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's like, and there's so many different archetypes. Like, it has the usual, red, green, blue, and black,
kind of like
and white. Yeah. But this one also has yellow and purple, so it's like, oh, two extra colors thrown in here. But the different archetypes really feel unique in their own way somehow. Even though there's more colors, it's like, okay, red, the usual red, just go as fast as possible, destroy their security as quick as possible. Blue's more control as always, removing Digimon, removing their lower level stuff. And then green is just going as fast, getting big field quick. Black is just, being well, I guess it's purple that does more of the black for Magic. Just grabbing stuff from graveyard, death touch kind of creatures and that stuff. Like, oh, don't attack my stuff or your stuff is gone. So it's like, I just love that each color has its own flavor. So I just been loving it, man, and luckily it's pretty cheap to get into it.
Is that your deck?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have a bunch of decks.
I was gonna say you got a spare because I'll try it out with you, bro. I'll try it out with you.
Yeah. This is I use a Gurumon deck for those Ogarumon deck for all those interested. That's my main currently at the moment.
Yeah, I remember when Digimon first came out, like this TCG. It might have been during at the beginning of the pandemic, and didn't they have a tournament where like people were filming and like playing online with each other?
Mm-hmm.
So when I read or heard that, I was like, wow, people are so dedicated about this new card game that they're willing to, like do a Zoom tournament. Like that's pretty good. You know what I mean? Like that's healthy for a new TCG that just hit the market. And obviously it's Digimon, so you're gonna have like anime fans that are interested in it. But, but besides that, I've heard that just as its own game, it's a fun TCG.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's why I've had a lot of fun with it. Like, I can go every Wednesday and Sunday to go meet up with my people, my fellow weebs. I know they watch the anime. Like, oh, since they watch the Digimon, hey, you watch something else? So it's like, you know, if like I'm just like, you know, chilling with my people, you know, like they see an angel woman card, like, hey, you know, give me that spicy good stuff, you know. So it's like, you know,
Same
it's
shop,
just nice.
right? Same shop, the same, yeah. So I gotta ask, man. You know, I gotta ask. So you told me you were playing Magic tonight. You told me standard. I'm like, whoa, that's weird. No one plays standard anymore. So I asked you about it. You gave me a total bullshit answer, by the way. Good job. You also lied to me recently about not, you know, my party, but that's fine. That's fine. We just have that relationship now. So how was this your first time? No, you've been playing the past couple weeks Digimon, right? Okay, I gotta ask. I gotta ask. Are you enjoying it more than Magic? You know, I gotta ask that question. Where is it at?
Currently, it's about the. I'm actually been enjoying it a little bit more, honestly.
No way. Yeah.
In a different way. It's like, you know, Magic is, you know, it's the classic. It's like, you know, the classic, just, you know,
Yeah.
Magic. It's like, okay, you know, you do your stuff, someone else's turn. Oh, I didn't even talk about the best part about Digimon is like because the main system about it is, I guess, grab the other part, is called the memory gauge. I think I have it. Yeah. So it's like basically like you just keep like teeter-tottering, you know, from one side. You can give your opponent a bunch of stuff, but, you know, to play something big, but then they have all this, you know, stuff to work with. So it's like sometimes you can reduce costs of things, you know, to, you know, try to stay, because whenever you're on your zone of the memory gauge, it's your turn. Out of nowhere, they can't just be like, oh, actually this, and play an instant or something. Like, when it's your turn, it's your turn. You're just doing your combos. You're playing down a bunch of Digimon. You're doing a bunch of different things, and then once it's on their side, it's like, okay, now I just put my cards down. Let me just see what they're gonna do. You know?
Yeah.
So it's just a nice back and forth of just like, you do your own stuff. Like, okay, I have this. If I can play this much before it's their turn again, it's like, should I play this one big card and have it go to their turn and see what they do, or do I play like a few cards and then see what they do? So it's like a nice like back and forth of like, should I do a big combo and give them a bunch of memory and see if they can use it all, or should I just try to play it safe and try to choke them out with as little memory as possible? So it's a nice back and forth that you don't really get in Magic. And you'd probably love this, you know, in Duel Masters with that security or whatever, that your guard.
Oh,
your health,
your shields. Your
shields.
Your shields. Digimon has
it's the
that?
same exact system. Same system.
So like when they break a shield, it goes to your hand?
It depends. So it's like something like this, like the you know, the actual main characters. Usually it's like, you know, play this, instead of paying the 4, you just instantly when it's security, you just instantly play it for free.
So is it a shield trigger? When they break that shield, you can play it for free? Look at that. That's that's an OG Duel Masters mechanic there. Nice.
And then, you know, there's also the security. So if it's just a normal Digimon, it's like, okay, then now you just compare, you know, the person attacking versus this power, then see if it gets deleted. So it's like always like a spice. Like sometimes like you have like your really big cards in your security, which is nice. Like it just happened to me today. It's like someone attacked with their like 12,000 big boy. And I was like, super early on, I'm like, shit, like how am I gonna be able to kill this thing? And then the security flipped over, and it was like my 15,000 guy, and it's like, now he's dead. It's like, okay, now I can come back and just try to like,
nice,
you know, push this advantage while I get it.
Okay.
So it's a lot of fun. Just like the different little systems of like commons are useful, you know. You know, some rares, some like, you know, like this is the most expensive card. Well, one of the most expensive cards in the game that I got. It's like, it does some spicy stuff, but you can still do so many spicy things with such cheap cards. So you could just,
dude, they're
so cheap. And
this sounds very similar to Duel Masters. I bet I would love this game, bro. I got to try this out with you sometime, bro. I really got to try this out. And you're enjoying it a lot. How many? How many sets so far? Because it's like a newer game, but it's been going on for some time. Is there a lot of sets?
4.
Only 4 main sets? How many cards?
How
many cards in a set?
I think 100 and like 150. Maybe.
That's it?
No, it's a little bit less. No, it's less. Because it's a little bit weird. Because the first 2 sets called 1.0 and 1.5. Condensed 1 through 3 of the Japanese one.
Okay.
So like the first 2
to catch up with the to catch up with the OCG, kind of.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like the first two sets are like have like 180 cards because there's just but it's a total. It's basically like 300 and something cards.
Yeah.
For the three sets, so it's and it's like it's and then the next set was like 110, the next one was like 100 and some and 15 or something. So it's like there's a good, and you get a lot of the cards, and the nice thing is like a lot of the cards are really cheap, like surprisingly, even though it's not too big of a.
This shit looks like Duel Masters, dude. I'd probably fucking love this game. The artwork looks clean as hell. Looks like some nice artwork.
Yeah, I think that's also one of my favorite parts is like each card has its own unique like artwork. It's not like they just copy this from the show or something. Like I like Weiss.
So nice. That's so nice.
Yeah, so versus like something like Weiss, like every card is like this is a unique one. Mm-hmm. So it's like okay, I like it. They actually put some effort into this, and like the way the cards interact. Yeah, and like the way the cards like. The flavor of how the card works is like, oh, this is exactly like in this Omni, like the exact Omnimon, but there's like one Omnimon, like in the movie, like the villain creates like 1 billion copies. So like its effect is like it destroys all of one of all if they all have the same name. So it's like, oh, that's so like badass, like how like the flavor is built right into the card, and like it's like, wow, that's really cool. So like. Oh, I just love it, man. And the art's beautiful. It's cheap comparatively to like Magic.
The art looks sick.
There's some decks, some decks and styles where like yellow specifically is like it's kind of expensive to get into yellow.
Can you only have one color per deck, or can you run multicolor?
Multicolor, because like this one, that's my favorite card right here. Omnimon X Antibody is a red and a blue.
Throw it up to the camera so the people can see. Yeah, that looks sick, dude. That looks sick.
Yeah, this is my favorite card. This has been winning me games right here. This is my.
You know what's funny? Magic, Magic is so expansive. Like, yeah, I love playing casual Magic, but it's gonna take a lot for me to get into like being up to date with Magic. You know what I mean? Just because there's so fucking much, and you have to like really like Wizards is constantly putting out products. If this TCG, which I know is relatively new, only has 4 sets, this is not a bad time to get in. You know what I mean? And it looks like I would like it. So this is promising. This is not. I don't want to get into a TCG. My wallet does not want to get into a TCG. But
I got extra decks. And
sweet. I'll use some extra decks.
Yeah, and it's so cheap. Like I can just like rebuild. I can just like rebuild one of these for like $20-$30. You know,
it's cheap. Just nice. Yeah, this seems promising. I think I want to give this a try.
Yeah, it's just so nice. Like the starter decks are kind of scalped a bit because like the MSRP for these like starter decks are $10.
No way. For a whole deck?
And a whole deck, and it comes with a booster pack.
That's a good. How many cards in the deck? 60?
50.
But a whole deck for $10. That's fucking good. That's really good.
Yeah, and it's an actual deck, so it's like okay, you have everything, and you get an extra, and you get a booster pack, which is like $4. It's like you're basically paying like $6 for the deck.
That's crazy.
But then like you look, but like that's the MSRP, but like the price that usually stuff it goes for like usually $20.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like even at $20, like some cards like $5 each if you look on them online. Yeah. It's like so it's like you get 4 of them for $5. Is like these 4 cards basically cost the whole deck, and but if you just buy the deck, you get for those 4 cards and like 46 others. So it's just like even though it's like a little bit scalped and a little bit high price for the starter decks, $20 is nothing compared to like a deck in Magic. You know, $20 is like
it's nothing. Yeah, compared to Magic, that's fucking nothing. That's yeah. I mean, so really, like, for any TCG, $20 is you'd be hard pressed to find $20 get you a full, I'm not talking like raggedy like TCGs no one's ever heard of. Weiss is kind of not super popular, but you might have heard of it. I mean, it's not the least, it's not because they come out with TCGs for everything nowadays. But if you just look at the main big TCGs that actually have a decent player base, $20 often will not get you a starter deck. You know what I mean?
They give you one card.
Yeah. 20. I mean, a starter deck, an average starter deck might be like 30 or 40, not 20. You know, these days.
And it comes with a booster pack too.
Well, yeah, and MSRP is 10, which is like incredible. I mean, 10, dude. Some booster packs are fucking 10 these days. You know, like the fact that they'll give you 50 cards for $10, that's a steal.
Yeah, and it's also kind of cool. Like each pack comes with 2 rares or 2, well, at minimum 2 rares. So it's like, oh, that's cool. Like you open up a pack and it's like
You don't
you have
feel
like
gypped.
8. You don't feel gypped. It's like, oh, I get like a rare of this and a rare or super rare of that. It's like, okay, it feels nice and like it just feels good and it's nice and cheap and like luckily all the boxes are like at like 90 $90 or below, like slightly below, but it's like, oh, okay. So like I was able to just buy like one box of everything. It's like, okay, I got one of every box. Easy peasy. So it's just a nice, simple, easy TCG. I'm just chilling, playing it, talking to whoever whenever I'm there. It's just nice and simple. It's nice and relaxing. It's not like I'm using big brain plays like Magic or whatever. It's like
Yeah, it's not as thought provoking
intensive.
as a Magic. It's not as intense.
Yeah, when it's not your turn, you don't really gotta worry about it. It's like, okay, are you attacking me? Okay. Oh, how big is your guy right now? It's like, he's that much. Like, okay.
That is one thing with Magic. Is like, especially Commander, keeping track of all of your tokens. How big is this guy? Is this effect still on him? There's a lot of stuff to keep track of with Magic. That is kind of a downside of Magic, to be honest with you. But it's not like that with Digimon. Very simple, straightforward.
Yeah, it's very simple, straightforward. It's like you just like one big guy. It's like, oh, what does he do? Like, and then after a certain point, it's like, oh, I know exactly what he does. Like, I'm just chilling. Like, okay, I just gotta worry about for this.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's so nice and relaxing and easy. It just some every once in a while you get some big titties to you. It's like, okay, cool. So that's what I've been up to in terms of just normal stuff. My collection for manga has been growing as wild as always.
Yeah, you want to talk about that?
Yeah. I'm a little annoyed, but happy and annoyed at the same time, because I love Tokyo Ghoul, but the Tokyo Ghoul box set was like $100.
How many volumes?
16 or 14.
Fuck, I thought you were gonna say
like
6 for a second. I'm like, what the fuck? But okay, 16, something like that.
I think it's 16. 'Cause I think the original Tokyo Ghoul is 14.
Okay.
So I was like, shit. I was like $100 for the whole Tokyo Ghoul and it's like, oh, I love the manga, and it's like, I gotta put my money where my mouth is. I bought the box set, even though I already have like 6 volumes. But luckily, I have a friend that.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, you're kind of bitching for no reason. Like, 16 volumes for $100 is good, but you already have 6 volumes. I didn't know that. Yeah, that sucks.
So,
well, you could sell them. You could sell them.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna be selling them to a friend for a little bit of discounted price. But I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Now I need to get the original box set or just see how many volumes I'm missing and see which one's the cheaper way to go.
Nice. Obviously, you got a new box set, right? So they're all going to be mint. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So and then I got some other series. I got the I guess I'll spoil it for the show.
Let's see.
I got the Dr. Stone and Komi-san manga. Most of the volumes. I think of all the Komi-san, but not all of the Dr. Stone yet.
Really? Okay, so where are they at volume wise?
I think Komi is at 13, and then Dr. Stone's like 12.
And you have most of those volumes for each series?
Oh, I'm at those volumes. I think Dr. Stone has like 16 volumes maybe. But I think Komi, I'm caught up on Komi-san.
Damn. How are they? I mean, are you even reading them, or are you just kind of storing them right now?
Well, I already read them before.
Yeah, true.
Remember, nice. I read.
I knew you read Komi. I didn't realize you read Dr. Stone.
Well, I didn't see the recent stuff, but that's basically where my volumes are at the moment. When I look through the last volume, I'm like, okay, where's this last volume that I'm at? It's like, okay, this is about where we were at, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Nice. Damn, that's a lot of well.
That's a lot of it's a lot of
Germ,
manga.
that's germs for you. Germs goes. I mean, that's really kind of anyone or any guy, really. I mean, when we get like into something, we get like into something. You know, I knew it. I called it. I said, "Oh, you're getting into TCGs. Have fun going down this rabbit hole, man." I knew you'd get deep into it. You know, because that's just how it
Mm-hmm.
is. That's just how it is. I'm hyped to play that Digimon, and yeah, manga for me, man.
Oh yeah, I mean, hear this.
I'm close to completing Naruto. I'm
How
close.
close?
One fucking volume off. One. One. And these dumb fucks on the internet, used but good condition, no wear and tear. They're horseshit liars. They're scam artists. They shouldn't be allowed to sell things on the internet. Uh, and by the way, I've bought the same volume twice. Both of them don't meet my. Both of them look like they came from a school library and kids fucking puked on them, wiped their assholes with them. It these were not treated with tender loving care. I'll tell you that. They were abused. They're not even read. I mean, they're readable, but I don't want to read them. They have cracked spines. Whenever a book has a cracked spine, I don't want to buy it.
Oh
It's like why?
yeah.
You know, like who cracks? Would you crack your spine in real life? No, so don't do that to the book. You know, I don't know. I bought, dude. I bought the same volume twice, both places. eBay. Forget the other place. Very reputable place. These dumb fucks put good condition, but there's nothing good about them. So I don't know what I need to look for. Great condition. I don't. I'm gonna have to buy it new at this point.
New.
It's out of print, and so the scalpers, these this should be illegal. I mean, it is illegal in a lot of cases, but these fucking immoral scalpers have it for like 20, 30. Dude, some of these, the MSRP back in the day, 10 years ago, was like $10. And these fucks on the internet are gonna put it at 30. So it is what it is. I mean, I really want. I might have to wait until it comes back in stock, to be honest with you, because I can't justify, especially over the internet. I don't know who's sending me what at this point. You know, I can't justify spending 30 bucks on a volume I'm going to read in 5 minutes. I also can't justify spending 20 on a used good condition. That's horseshit. That's not good condition. Actually, do I have the volume here? Look at this. I paid like 25 bucks for this, dude. I mean, you can just tell. See this?
Mm-hmm.
See this? They put this as good condition. Look at this. Cracked spine. Let me just get to the first. See that cracked spine? It shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
It's flat right here. Usually it's bends. It's cracked spine. It feels disgusting. I feel like I have an STD on my hands. It feels disgusting in my hands. Like if I was laying in bed reading this, I wouldn't want to read it. It's like, ugh. And again, I'm not trying to be a snob. I've read used books before. It's not a problem. If I was checking this out at the library, not a problem. But I this is part of my collection. Like it's something I fucking spent $25. So excuse me if I'm being snobbish. You know, like I'm not the hardest guy to please, but fuck, man, I spent $25 for a used book in good condition. Look at the back. The back is all like, you getting this? There's a
Oh
bunch of
yeah,
bunch of black marks. Someone probably did wipe their ass with this. Gonna have to send this back, and I have no idea if I'll get my money for it. It's a joke, dude. But I'm one volume off from having all of Naruto at my fingertips. I'm
then
gonna
you can
read it.
finally finish it up.
I can finally fucking finish it up. If only, yo, if anyone in the comments, if you can find volume 47, and you know for a fact it's in decent condition, hit me up. Hit us up in the hit. I'll reply to you in the comments because it's out of print right now. Man, if right stuff has the best prices, but if only everything was in stock, you know? You can't help it. But I'll tell you what, and especially when you buy them online and they don't show you pictures, because the 2 that I bought didn't show pictures. They just had a stock image of the cover. If you're gonna buy something used, make sure you buy it and they have pictures because it's a nightmare. It's an absolute shit show. They put the stock image so they don't show you a picture of the actual book, because if they showed you a picture of the actual book, no one would buy it. Not for $25. Get the fuck out of here with that. So yeah, that's where I'm at with my manga collecting. I'm collecting one big ass series. I have 1 through 72 minus 47, so I have 71 books of Naruto. One off. Just one off. And you know, I've had the OG series ever since I was a kid. I've probably had the 1 through 26 is the first part. I probably had 1 through 26 for like 10 years, no joke, like a decade. And some of those are pretty worn and torn. But dude, none of them are as worn and torn as that one. Maybe like one of them. Maybe like one out of like 26, dude. And that's me as a kid taking them to school, putting them in my backpack, letting friends read them, maybe wiping my ass with it. None of them look as bad as that one. Maybe one. Maybe like one of them out of like 26 I kept in better condition than these people. So yeah, I don't know. Manga.
It's the life, unfortunately.
I guess. Dude, if everything was just like in stock, right stuff. Say no more. But when it's not in stock, you gotta go hunting for it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? Any other weekly thought to get off your chest?
Yeah, I can't really think of anything. Just playing that good old Digimon.
Dude, I'm gonna head over soon and check that out. I really want to check that out. Sounds fun. Sounds very similar to Duel Masters. Like a very more like simplistic game. Shield triggers, different colors. I'm curious about it. I'm very curious about it.
And don't you gotta worry about mana.
Yeah, that's curious. How do you get guys out there? Just play
It's,
'em
it's,
or
it's that memory
set
system.
memory system?
But it's like, it's always slip and flopping depending on what's going on.
Yeah.
You'll see.
I'll have to see.
It's a
You think you like it more
it's a
than
back and forth.
you think you like it more than Weiss?
Yeah, unfortunately, but
Yeah.
it's mostly because we have there's an actual like scene here for Digimon here. It's like, okay, I can
Yeah.
talk to someone, play
many-
some games with them.
Without mentioning the store name, how many people go like that play Digimon?
Today we had like probably like 10, and
That's a
and
good
Wednesday's
number.
like and when Wednesday's the fun day. It's like we're just playing random meme decks and all that stuff. Because Sunday is really where the big money is at. Where it's like 14, 15, 16 maybe.
Oh yeah,
Some packs and stuff are on the line.
that's cool.
But Wednesday we're just having fun looking at some meme decks, and someone's like mixing like some random colors together. It's like, what are you doing?
It's more casual than like Magic, huh? That's the appeal. It's not as like stressful and as like intense as Magic. Yeah, Magic can, especially when you got tokens and Magic can get hectic, especially Commander with 4 people. There's cards everywhere, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's our first show back. You happy with it?
Mm-hmm.
I think we did a
Yeah, I
bang
think
up
it
job.
was. Some nice discussions as always.
Midway through the season, man. I cannot believe that. So yeah, Weebs out there, that's going to be our this is our midway season of the summer season, season 2 of the Weeb Retreat podcast. We hope you guys we gave you a long show today. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed your stay. Make sure to hit that thumbs up. Anything to help us with the YouTube algorithm would be a much appreciated. Me too, as they say in Four Hose. Yeah, so hit the sub if you're not already subbed. We really appreciate it. If you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, you can also follow us on there. And yeah, great show. Anything to part with?
Yeah, just collect that manga and play those card games.
Yeah, be degenerates like we are. Yeah, Weeb's out.
Easy
We will
peasy.
definitely see you next week. That is a promise. We're not taking a break like we did again. All right, guys. Peace.